All right, here we go. That's better. What is up, motherfuckers and party people? Sorry about the delay. I was gonna go live like 10 minutes ago, but I was dealing with multiple technical issues.
One of those books that smelled bad.
But I think we're all good now.
You know? Oh, didn't think this through, did you? No.
So, what is up, everybody? What's up? How's everybody doing today? We have the Window World 250 from North Wilkesboro, North Carolina. It's the Truck Series race. Oh, yeah, this is all working very nice and smoothly now. Let's go. I like that. It feels too smooth. Everything was shitty a minute ago, and now it's all too good. It's like it's too good. Doesn't feel right. So qualifying was canceled today, but they didn't get practice in. There was rain earlier, but it's completely fine now. We won't deal with any rain.
Excuse me, sir.
But yes, this race will start at 1:48 is the green flag. Stage 1 is 70 laps. Stage 2 is also 70 laps. And the final stage is 110 laps. So, yeah.
Featuring music superstar Tim McGraw. This isn't just another baseball game. It's a Major League Baseball game at Bristol, baby. Lock in your tickets now and gear up for this historic MLB.
I'll be live for the All-Star Race Heats later, I believe. And then I'll also be live for the Red Sox tonight. So it'll be a 3-stream day.
Hi, I'm Robin, a team member at Chick-fil-A of Georgia. And a little thing you'll like about our Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is the combination of flavors. From the brown sugar bacon to the smoky barbecue sauce. It's the whole package.
Real team member paid for their testimonial.
Cream on the left, one more episode.
Cream on the right, we crushed the whole series.
Yes!
Oh, that was really good. Oreo, stay playful.
It's for you. Do you like it? Come on, Charlie. Use your new toy. Come on, let's go. I said go. Let's go. Silly dog. I'm going to trade you for a cat. Red Bull gives you wings.
With the taste of white peach. The new Red Bull Summer Edition. With and without sugar.
How about this kid, Ty Majeski, just dominated this race.
But yes, Corey Heim is going to start on pole. Oh, Kyle Busch is in the race today. I didn't even know that. Go Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch starting second.
Truck Series champion.
And Ty Majeski is defending series champ, but it's been a rough season. In fact, he's only had one top 10 in the last 6 races, and you see the difference there on short tracks. He's happy. We're here at North Wilkesboro, as we like to call him, a short track ace. And moments ago, he talked to our Josh Sims.
Well, Jamie, it has been a tough stretch for Ty Majeski right now, but I think this is the perfect medicine coming to a short track here at North Wilkesboro. Had a chance to practice, but not qualified. So how are you feeling about that truck? You told me a little bit earlier, you were kind of all over the place with the balance.
Yeah, we were on all sides of it with our SolarSense Ford F-150, but confident we made the right adjustments here between practice and the race. Wish we had a little bit more track position starting 12th today. So, yeah, like you mentioned, a little bit of a rough stretch, but one good thing is the speed has been there. So, no reason to be concerned yet, I don't think. So, happy to be coming to a short track here for a repay. This place puts on really good racing, so excited to see it at work today.
Tyre rolls on 12. We'll see how he gets it done out there tonight, Jamie.
Well, Ryan, you heard there. The good thing is he feels like he has the speed in this truck.
Yeah, and I never count the Ty Majeski out. He's a great race car driver. Was an amazing late model racer. It's been great to see him, progress so much in trucks, right? Defending series champion. I look forward to him being really well. We talked about his short tracks and everything, but I think what makes him special at short tracks is his long run speed. He always seems to be able to hold on a little bit longer than everybody else. And I think with the track temp being how it is, him starting mid-pack, I think you get to the lap 20 mark or so, you're really going to start to see him move forward like we've seen in the past.
And, you know, the heat, the temperature, I really think that's a big deal for this long run. Because last year, the tires didn't fall off that much. And we saw good speed throughout practice with the tires. But it's getting hotter and hotter, and that's just going to get worse and worse.
And it is. And, you know, and every year you go to a newly paved racetrack, tire fall-offs becomes more and more. So we're really going to see, I think, a lot of comers and goers today.
Looking forward to that. Well, it's time now to go trackside once again for the most.
I guess we're not going green right at 148.
And now, here to say the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome 1995 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series champion with 28 career Truck Series wins, Mike Skinner, along with the Window World executive team. North Wilkesboro Speedway. Drivers, start your engines! Let's go!
Engines are fired.
$250 laps of short track action is coming up next from the oldie but goodie we call North Wilkesboro Speedway.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Monday.
It was just so shocking.
A dangerous squatter is still on the run.
2 senior citizens were murdered and burned up.
Authorities urge residents to be on the lookout for a 25-year-old man.
We need your help to lock him up for good.
America's Most Wanted is all new Monday on Fox.
What's that new guy on Duke? He's back. That's the 4th time it's not enough. It's a peak in the program. People with serious intent to probe. We're seeing activity converging here north and south.
This is Front Med 6 Road. We need evac at our last known position.
Rex, the things that wounded enemy on our building and all surrounding buildings.
Where are you guys?
Look for the blood and the smoke.
No matter what your latest obsession is, Verizon is obsessed with helping you save on perks you love. That's why you can add popular streaming services to your Fios home internet plan and save. So whether you're constantly watching your faves on Netflix and Max, streaming iconic stories and live sports across Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, or enjoying YouTube and YouTube Music ad-free, you can add any of these perks starting at just $10 a month each. So you can keep obsessing and keep saving with Verizon.
Don't know about you, this time is kind of better.
I will be reducing the scholarship program to 3.
Go out like a legend. It's a party.
Put the work in.
Now we're lagging again. There we go. Nothing could ever just be perfect.
Mommy, I have to go potty.
You gotta do it, please.
Oh.
So, what's next?
Craftsman. What you build, builds you.
Put the work in.
Gary, used car shopping can't hurt you.
What if I overpay?
Come out and I'll show you a better way.
Well, you said...
I know. I said nearly half of all used cars have been in an accident. But there's no reason to shop with fear.
Well, show me, Carfox.
Knowing how a car's accident history impacts price means you don't have to overpay.
I wasn't scared.
Sure. Can we talk about the BJs?
I'll talk about them, as long as you keep it positive, because I like these things.
No fear, just Fox. Say show me at Carfax.com.
We asked people who said they've had Domino's stuffed crust pizza before to compare it to our new stuffed crust.
That's better than the one they have currently.
Only Domino's has never had stuffed crust before.
Are you serious?
Until now. Introducing Domino's new and first ever stuffed crust pizza. Try one for the first time tonight.
This is phenomenal.
Welcome back to this gorgeous day in the Window World 250. Trucks are rolling, so let's take a look now at our Window World starting grid. Starting up front after qualifying was canceled is 3-time winner on this season already, Corey Heim, starting alongside 67-time Truck Series winner Kyle Busch.
And on road 2, starting
go,
third,
Kyle.
Sammy Smith doesn't make many truck starts. His second one this year, ranked 5th in this race last year. Starting 4th, Gio Ruggiero, 4 top 10s on the day, making his first ever start here.
All right, well, we got what we got with this stream now, so hopefully it just fucking decides to behave itself.
3, you see Stuart Friesen and Jake Garcia. Jake's off to a hot start this season. Stuart, second at Atlanta earlier this year, but it's been a struggle as of late to see if he can rebound.
Let's take a look at the rest of the field here. You see Caden Honeycutt in the 45. He's already been racing a couple of nights around here. Cars Tour last night.
Yeah, he's going to be fast. He was P2 on 10-lap average yesterday. I think he's going to be good. Grant Enfinger's another one. Brent Cruz making his Truck Series debut. We already talked about Ty Majeski outside of row 6.
Chandler Smith going to the rear for some brake issues they tended to. Connor Jones making a start in that Alnice number 44 truck. A lot of good trucks back here, Brian, that could be charging to the front.
Indeed, and then we have Lane Riggs starting on the inside of row 14. Willock is to make up a little bit for last week after that DQ after the race. Kind of got him deep in the field, but I think he's going to be really well. Luke Baldwin making his 3rd Truck Series start. He showed great promise at Martinsville, another short track. Had a little bit of a rough weekend at Kansas. Honestly, I've had a scrappy weekend here in the late models this weekend at North Wilkesboro.
We'll just see Kyle in the truck at North Wilkesboro. Hopefully he can pick up a win today.
Modified racer is starting in that Henderson Motorsports number 75.
Well, we have two pit reporters covering all the action for you today. Caitlin Vinci and Josh Sims. Good afternoon, Josh.
Well, Jamie, Chandler Smith and this 38 team could really use a bounce-back race after 3 straight finishes in the teens, where you come to a track where you have had success in the past, and Chandler has won on 3 short tracks in the Truck Series in his career. So the good news about earlier today in practice, they were the fastest truck. The bad news, you reported
Lane Riggs is dropping to the rear.
Said they felt spongy, not firm like you want them to be, especially at a track where you use the brakes as much as you do. So they addressed the issue after practice. As a result, they'll have to drop to the back at the start of the race. But look at the 38 who try and put on a show out here today. Caitlin?
Well, Josh, one driver who showed a lot of promise in practice was Lane Riggs. Now, as you guys talked about, he is starting a little deeper in the field, starting 27th. But I had a chance to talk with Lane earlier today, and he told me he's very proud of the speed they've been bringing in those race trucks every single weekend. He said the Achilles heel for this team right now, though, has been pit road. But he told me they've made some changes to the pit crew. He said, I'm very confident you're going to see them step up. So we know Lane Riggs is a good short track racer. Keep an eye on him as he tries to...
I really want NASCAR to have like a points race here, the Cup Series.
You guys have a good day down there. Michael, how about our press?
I want it to be a 500 laps, not 400.
Over a half mile, 5/8 of a mile track. The corners are banked at 13 degrees. Track's pretty much symmetrical, unless you take into consideration how far you drop downhill into turn 1. This track is really crazy with the elevation change from one end to the other.
Yeah, it is. And as you saw, you know, people go through pit road, a lot of different timing lines on pit road, so that's something to watch.
Can we stop at the lag?
Race analysis, 250 laps today, 156 miles. Stage 1 and 2, both 70 laps. The final stage will be 110. Pit road speed, 30 miles an hour. Fuel window, 120 to 130. So it'll be interesting to see if there's a caution in that final stage, what teams are going to do.
4 sets of tires for this race as well. We have 2 onboards for today, bringing you the action from this seat. The number 9, Grant Enfinger.
Going to roll from the 8th position in the top 10, second here a year ago. And then we're going to have some fun when we hop on board Lane Riggs' truck. We've already talked about he's starting in the back and how much room there is to pass. We're going to see that right off the bat with him trying to cut his way up through the field. One of the fastest trucks, as we said earlier today.
Let's listen to Grant Enfinger's radio quick.
Everybody on my team, thank you all for patience. I feel like we got something to work with. We'll just be smart, be aggressive, play on offense the whole time, and we got a shot at this, so let's just take advantage of it.
Grant gets underrated a lot. I think Grant's one of the most solid truckers that we have. Always seems to string together good runs, and really no matter where it's at, like whether it's a mile and a half, super speedway, short track, he's always in the mix at some point. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do today. And I think it's interesting. We're always going to talk about the choose. Corey
Oh yeah, the manual leaderboard.
We always talk about this big bump off of turn 4 on the very bottom lane. It can kind of get you in trouble. That restart zone is right around it. The bump's right in the middle of that restart zone. So that's something interesting to watch for today is the launch and where everyone decides to choose as we get these restarts going.
But wow, what a beautiful day, huh? We're here at North Wilkesboro. The fans have turned out. There's so much energy around All-Star Weekend. We're going to kick it off here with some great truck racing action.
Get ready to go green.
Look at that. So many fans on their feet, ready to go. It has been a couple of days of racing here already. Now it's the Craftsman Truck Series. We'll have the Cup cars on track.
Pace cars off.
Races after us. So much going on. So much excitement. Pace car is off. Corey Heim, Kyle Busch on the inside.
Green flag.
In the air. We're racing in North Wilkesboro. Off to a great start for Corey Heim there. Gets ahead of Kyle Busch. But Gio Ruggiero there tucking in third.
Yeah, you can see these tires are a little bit squirmy taking off. You saw Gio kind of get loose on the top there of 3 and 4, or 1 and 2, and Kyle Busch was able to slide into second. So it's going to take these trucks a couple laps to kind of get the air pressure built up and figure out where everyone wants to be.
Yeah, and Kyle Busch didn't have a very good practice this morning. His truck just wasn't that fast. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of adjustments he was able to make some progress. Looks like he's a little wide off turn 4. There's a mess back in the pack. See Tony Breininger there is fixing it up with a couple other trucks. She had a bit of a rough start to this race. Good outside. And Riggs pushing up through there. Let's see what happened to Tony. Oh, sideways. Right there, the 44. Connor Jones got a hold of her. Doesn't take much, does it, Ryan?
It really doesn't, especially on low air pressure. The tires are moving around. We really want to build it up, and 34, that's another thing he has to be careful of, right? He just has to piece his way through the pack. And we see a lot of great battles. Gio really putting a lot of pressure on Kyle Busch.
Corey Heim has pulled out to over a second lead over Kyle Busch.
Series,
Gio Ruggiero's trying to battle Kyle.
Week in, week out.
Yeah, as Kyle Busch loose off of turn 2, the banking kind of falls away from you off of turn 2. Kyle's just going to let him go here, trying to see what his truck has. But I'm excited to see what this 17 truck can do as they continue to, get laps on their stuff, figure out where you need to be. You don't want to burn your tires off. We noticed that yesterday in our cars. You could actually wear the good off of them, and then you're in trouble. So it's a little bit of a pace of yourself today.
Gio Ruggiero, many rookies in the field right there in the 17 truck. Here for the first time in a truck, doing great work. But it's interesting when you look at the field, the youngsters always seem to prevail on these short tracks because that's what they know. That's what they came up doing.
They sure do. And you talk about a youngster, Brent Cruz, first career truck race, working to the inside of the 9. Hits the bump, gets a little bit loose, but did a great job of, correcting his truck and making sure he didn't slide into him. So he's put together a great career already. And his young life, I think, what is he, 17?
Yes, he is.
And getting to race at North Wilkesboro, I think that's just a really great gift.
Well, just so much energy and excitement around this young man because of his talent, raw talent that he's shown in anything he's driven. And now he's getting a chance here in the Truck Series in a really solid race truck.
Battle for 6th here. Jake Garcia in the 13. Michael, we talk about him every week. They've had such good speed. Today's practice, not what we typically see from him, but obviously with how it shook out with qualifying, great qualifying effort as he battles here with Sammy Smith.
Yeah, I think he likes what he's got here early. Anytime there's a gap ahead of you in the truck, you know you're going to get heated up, but you might even get run into because these guys know these races are quick and you got to move in a hurry.
Sammy Smith runs full time in the Xfinity Series. Brian Patty, the wily veteran, his crew chief.
And you talked about Luke Baldwin and the great job that he did at Martinsville. He was so fast and he raced so respectably. He wasn't running over people, just racing hard. And early in this race, look there, Ryan. You were right. He's our biggest mover.
Yeah, he's moving up. He had a great practice session. That truck is really good. Northsport always brings some really competitive trucks. And look, I mean, gosh, what do they have, 4 or 5 trucks right now in the field? So they do a great job putting some awesome F-150s out there as he's, trying to put the pressure to 3-time series champion Matt Kraft.
And you know how Matt is. He better be respectful when he gets to Matt.
That's right. I learned that very early in my career.
We'll hear from him on the radio, won't we?
Let's get an update on Luke Baldwin. Caitlin.
Yeah, well, I had a chance to talk to Luke earlier, and he said, I really want to bounce back from a tough Kansas race. He said he's just been taking one mistake at a time and trying to learn as much as possible. He also said he had a different vantage point this weekend, spotting in cup practice for Cody Ware, just trying to be as prepared as possible. But he also talked about the family lineage at North Wilkesboro. His grandfather used to race here in the modifieds. His dad, Tommy Baldwin, of course, is on hand here this weekend. But he said he's just loved growing closer to his father through this whole racing experience and sharing it with him week in and week out. He is definitely making up ground right now. P16 currently. Jamie?
Ryan, I remember when you drove for his dad, Tommy Baldwin.
Yeah, the Baldwins, mean a lot to me. Tommy gave me a chance back in 2012 and in the Xfinity Series, and it was so much fun driving for that team. My dad was running the Cup cars for him at the time, so it's been, gosh, I feel old now. I remember when Luke was up to my knees, and now he's taller than I am. I stood on pit row with him at Martinsville, and I'm looking up at a skyscraper. But you see Corey Heim here on screen, just doing Corey Heim things, just stretching it out, being really, really smooth. Honestly, I don't see his truck moving around a lot. He's just being patient, and he's starting to catch the back of the field.
Corey Heim has now led in all 10 races of the season, a 2-second lead right now at North Wilkesboro.
For the professional, it's not enough to possess knowledge. We seek to refine it. To wield its power.
Alex Pelos, fastest in Indy 500 qualifying. That's not surprising.
Boundaries. Knowledge is put to the test in every GMC Sierra. Or get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or current eligible GMC owners get over $7,800 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Don't miss Steel deals. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel
Larson's
tools.
currently at
Hurry into your
25th.
local Steel dealer or shop online.
Plants aren't so different from us, are they, Ryan?
Plants need food like people need food.
And that's right, and they do tell us what they need, like this really good organic plant food from Miracle Grow.
It's just as important as soil, sunlight, and water.
Ryan the philosopher. And you know what this one is telling me? She needs a spicy martharita and a lounge chair by the pool. These peppers look hangry, Ryan. Eat them, don't just stand there.
That's new. Join me, my friend.
What are you doing?
We are living la vida loca. Oh, do you mean the Dolce Vita? Is this your idea?
Enjoy the intense flavor of Lavazza Dolce Vita.
That's it. Is this Las Vegas? That is. I'm confused. That is good.
Sunlight is a powerful thing. Pets know, and so does Purina. That's why 100% of Purina's power comes from solar and wind investments to help make the food that powers your pet. Purina cares here and here.
Some folks are drawn to open country. Others crave the wild roar of a high-performance exhaust. And some like both. We call them family.
Welcome to Truck Country. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Welcome back to the Window World 250 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Corey Heim now has extended his lead to over 3.5 seconds.
Yeah, he's just dominating.
Our eyes have been on Lane Riggs, guys, during break. We know.
Yeah, Lane Riggs had to start in the rear. He's up to 15th.
Yeah, I think a successful stage one.
I didn't see Colt. I know he crashed. I didn't know he went airborne.
Okay, so you've already made up 12 positions. You're really pressuring Raja right now. There's a couple spots right in front of you. It's going to get a little harder as you go. As the tires wear out, that bottom lane is going to be a little bit tougher to complete the pass. You see him trying, just can't put the power down. He might be able to clear Raja here in the next lap, but I think if Lane can get to the top 10, he's going to be in a really good spot setting up the rest of the race.
A little bit of a different paint scheme, right, Michael?
What about that? It's really cool. He's a college graduate. UNC Charlotte. You can see Charlotte on the side of that truck. He's representing his alma mater.
That's right. I visited college a couple times.
I did too. My friends all went. I went with them. I didn't enroll or anything.
He's smart and fast.
Did you enroll or they wouldn't accept you, Mickey?
Yes, I would say both are true. But I'm going to tell you something else we have to watch is Chandler Smith. We know how good he was in practice, and there's that 38 truck. He's just one truck behind Lane Riggs, so he's making up some great time too. That 38, 34, and 11, every week, that just seems to be the story. And we're going to throw Caden Honeycutt into the mix here because he's got a really fast truck early as well.
Caden Honeycutt up to 12th. So Corey Heim leads Gio Ruggiero right there in the 17. You know, Kyle Busch started on the front row. He slid back to 5th. What are they saying in the 17 camp? Josh?
Well, you know, Jamie, for so many of these tracks we go to, it's the first time for a lot of the rookies. Not the case with Gio Ruggiero. First time here in a truck, but he's
Kyle Busch falling to 5th.
Some late model races here. So he came here today with a good baseline of this track. And the good thing about the progression of him during this season is crew chief Jeremy Donnelly says he's gotten to the point where the racing is now second nature. Now they can get more into the weeds when it comes to the racecraft. And we're seeing him catch his stride. 3 top 10s in the last 4 races. Came over the radio a few minutes ago and just said he fired off free but feels good about that truck as he's riding in second place right now, Jamie.
Yeah, riding in second, and you see Stuart Friesen in third. He's starting to close the gap a little bit. You know, I like his line. He's running a little bit higher entry than Gio into turn 1 and 2, getting a little bit better run off the top. And he's starting to work the middle lane of 3 and 4, which I really like, trying to get out of the wake. Well, there he went back to the bottom and maybe eat my words. But, you know, I think Stewart's going to be someone that you really have to pay attention to as this race goes on. A smart race car driver, been doing it for a long time, understanding the track changing. The track's going to continue to change during this race, and those best guys are going to be able to figure out what they need to do to continue changing with the racetrack.
You know, we talked about Stewart having a bit of a bump in the road. He corrected things last week in Kansas with a top 5 finish. He's got the speed, but he had some rough goes at it a few weeks before that. So this isn't surprising at all to see that 52 truck up front. He says that they have better equipment than they ever had. He just has to figure out how to take advantage of it.
And you know what I love about that Helmar Friesen Racing, Michael? They do everything themselves. They don't purchase anything from anyone. They build all those trucks in-house. That, by the way, is just 25 minutes away. So it's a home deal for them to have a good showing here, be a good shot in the arm, and a good follow-up from Kansas. So Corey Heim continues to lead by almost 5 seconds now. Incredible effort. Only driver to lead laps in every race this season,
Yes.
Ryan.
Sorry, Jamie. I just look at the lap times of Corey Heim, and even though he's in traffic, he's still a tenth and a half faster than everybody else right now. So that truck is just amazing. Corey does a great job in it week in, week out. You know, we were just talking during the break, the great job that he did in the Cup race in Kansas last week. You know, really had a great run. I think he finished 13th in it, and just was really respectful all day. Found out how to get his car better through the day. And those, you know, these trucks and Cup cars are so different nowadays. You know, there used to be a little bit more similarities to them before this generation of Cup car. But jumping in and out, you know, and running double duty on that weekend, he just really learned and did a great job. And right now he's just in a hornet's nest, you know, trying to pick his way through. But luckily, you know, he's got an over 5-second lead that he can kind of just be careful here. But at the same time, we're 30 laps until the stage break. He wants to put as much trucks a lap down as he can, right? To just eliminate guys, trying to get the gap to second place, so where it makes the pit stop a little bit less stressful.
This is just what we've seen all season long, and we've talked about it endlessly, that this is a Cup guy winning on Sunday. You know, Blaney, when you showed up and did the special things you did in Xfinity Series and got to Cup, we knew you were going to be a Cup winner. Now, you're not only that, you're a Cup champion. You got to see a lot of the same things in Corey Heim.
Well, I love looking at, you know, racers, and I can say this now, I love looking at young racers now that I'm older and, you know, really see their talents. Enfinger, Majeski, Tyler Ankrum right here battling all for 8th, 9th, 10th right now. Lane Riggs is just outside your screen. There he is right there, continuing to work his way through the field. And you can see all the different lanes that these guys are running. You know, I guess there's 5-6 truck right here trying to get in line. And you kind of see this right now. You get this little stack, right? Enfinger's 2.5 seconds back of Brent Cruz. And then you got Majeski, Ankrum, Riggs, Rhodes right there, you know, kind of on his tailgate. And everyone's just trying to search for grip. You know, 45 laps on these tires. Everyone's trying to figure out where to go, what the lanes are doing. And that's when you get great battles like this, is when the track gets a little wider.
What a battle between Grant Enfinger, Ty Majeski. That's for 8th. They were slicing and dicing their way around Frankie Muniz, the slower truck on the inside. Ooh, little contact.
The old chrome horn there.
He was just helping him out a little bit.
Yeah, tried to help him speed up off the corner.
The nine looked a little tight, so he was trying to help him turn.
I think it worked. You see Majeski still pounding Grant Enfinger.
And Enfinger's trying to move up, right? He's really starting to try to work that 2.5 lane in 3 and 4. And and getting right to the edge of the grip, you know, and he's trying to just clean that third lane off and searching for grip. He's struggling a little bit right now. So he's
Car
really
slow in
trying
the
to figure out,
backstretch.
you know, how can I maximize my truck? As we have a truck stalled off the exit of turn 2. Caution flag.
Caution.
Caution is out here for the first time. We have a
So that was an almost 15-minute green flag run to start the race. But there's a truck stopped on track.
It's that black Rhino.
That's Tyler Tomasi.
Tyler Tomasi.
You think that's Italian, Tomasi?
I don't think so. Yeah. From Connecticut.
Right on.
Yeah.
So 23 laps to go here in stage number 1. Reminder, stage 1 is 70 laps, stage 2, 70 laps. And
Yeah, Baltimore Orioles did fire their
110
manager.
laps in our third and final stage, as our AMR safety team is on the scene.
Now we're going to get the split. We're going to figure out the split here, right? We're going to come to 22 laps to go to the stage. You're going to see guys, I think the field's going to split right in half, whether you want to go for stage points, you're going to come in and get your tires. This is the tough decisions for crew chiefs. Figuring out, okay, they're going to try to figure out where we're at in the pack, what's your truck doing? Do we, you know, try to jump a bunch of spots here at stage break, or are we going to go for stage points? So this is going to get a lot of strategy here, but this is why these crew chiefs get paid the big bucks of figuring out what's the best call to make.
Because it's going to be interesting because we know one thing for sure, Corey Heim doesn't need any stage points. He's pretty happy with all that he has, so he could pit. But man, Ryan, it was so hard to call this at Kansas. We thought people would do the opposite of Corey Heim. They just followed him right on down pit road, so we'll see how it goes here. Pits are still closed.
So let's take a look at the pit window sponsored
It's
by
120 to
Window
130
World. See it there?
green flag lap,
From
so
100 and 130
you won't have to pit.
laps. That, of course, is on a full tank of fuel. But now we have the option.
green.
22 laps to go as you gentlemen just set up. I see a lot of pit crews ready to go.
Yeah, and
Who stays, who goes?
Looking at lap times here through the course of the run, you know, compared to their fast lap, and you know, everyone's a little bit different, and traffic kind of flows. But you know, it only fell off maybe at most half a second, so that's you have to factor that in as well. Okay, how much do the tires fall off? Do they not fall off enough to where you know we just want to keep track position? But this is here comes decision time as pit road's open.
So it's open. And Ryan, one of the things Ryan said, don't speed. They are out to get you, and it's very easy to do it here. 30 miles per hour down pit road.
Corey Heim decided he didn't need stage points because of the wins that he has and the speed that he has, so he's going to flip this stage. Ruggiero stayed out, as did Stuart Greason, so we're going to have a new leader.
The lone sailor out there, Corey, making that long drive down. Caitlin, he's coming your way for some fresh tires.
Yes, he is. Like you said, Michael, electing to pick because they have those wins and points, obviously, in the buffer there. But he said it's a little free, but please don't over-tighten it considering where this track may go. So you can see, obviously, the 4 tires there. Former winner at this racetrack, but he's choosing to come down a little earlier with 20 to go on stage, guys.
Great work from that camera. I believe that's our jib. Great shot. You could see they didn't make any chassis adjustments, so obviously helped him out with a little air pressure.
Yeah, and I'm counting 6 trucks stayed out here, so Corey is going to restart 7th, you know, so he can still, he could still win this stage, to be honest with you. So it'll be curious to see how those scuffed tires work out for the guys who stayed out.
All right, pit stop's complete. We'll line them up and drop the green flag once again from North Wilkesboro.
There's a place no map will show you. A secret spot. A high-performance hideout for cars that crave chaos. New brakes? Check. Roll cage? Check. A spoiler so big it doubles as a picnic table? Oh, you bet. Every apex we nailed, every second we shaved, it's all knowledge that goes right back into your ride. Look like fun? It is. You in?
Okay, guys, instead of getting WeatherTech, I saved a few bucks and got some cheap foreign-made floor mats. But they really stink, so put these on.
Really, Gary? Mom, I'm thirsty. Don't settle for cheap, stinky floor mats. At WeatherTech, we make our floor liners and cargo liners here in America out of pure, non-toxic American materials.
Dad, next time get WeatherTech. They don't stink.
I'm on it. Find out everything we have at WT.com.
This Memorial Day weekend, it's the biggest day in motorsports as the greatest spectacle in racing. The 109th Indy 500 comes to Fox with Joseph Newgarden going for an historic three-peat. Don't miss it. That's Sunday, May 25th, only on Fox. It's been exciting up there, guys. I was there for practice this week. Qualifying is happening today and tomorrow. Had some big wrecks already. The wind is playing a factor in all things, but we've got Carb Day on Friday I'll be up for, and then in the pits on Sunday, Ryan.
Well, seeing that promo gets me psyched up. I love watching the Indy 500. The biggest challenge I have at that race is, do I wear my Joseph Newgarden, Scott McLaughlin, or Will Power shirt? I don't know. It's always a toss-up. I need one with all three of them on it. But, you know, like you said, Joseph going, oh, sorry, we have to choose. Corey Heim is actually going to choose the bottom, so that's interesting. And so I'll be curious to see, you know, how does these new tires fire off? The crew chiefs definitely put, you know, long-run pressures in them, right? You're not going to pump them up for this, so because they have to go the next stage, because that group of trucks that pitted just there, they're probably, I mean, 99% sure they're going to stay out on the next stage. So I'd be interested to see. And this is kind of a player for the end of the race. If they get a caution with 20 to go or so, crew chiefs are going to be looking at this. Okay, how does the older tires fire off and what the new tires can do? Speeding penalties.
Speeding, please God, and Ryan, you warned
Jason
them.
Alexander, Tanner Gray, Ty Majeski, you know, was working his way up and he got popped. I got popped yesterday, so don't feel too bad. But that'll happen. This pit road, there's like 6 different section of lights that you have to run. So you can get in trouble pretty quick trying to maximize all your stuff.
All right, so 5 truckers stayed out there. Corey Heim restarting 6th. Here we go as the drivers approach the Echo Park Automotive restart zone.
And green flag's back in the air.
Stuart Friesen.
Pretty good start by Friesen right there on the bottom on new stuff. So he's
nose to nose, sliding sideways.
Is that what you call sent it? And look at that.
Damn.
Chandler Smith caught a little bit of the apron, just nowhere to go. Corey Heim takes him 3 wide. Gotta be careful on the bottom. These trucks rely on a lot of side force, so if you get tight,
Still 3 wide down the front stretch.
Daniel Hemrick stayed in the gas. He's gonna clear both those guys.
Chandler Smith still 3 wide, pushing the issue. Here comes Corey Heim. Did you say you think Corey Heim could perhaps win this stage?
I think he's got a really good shot here. He's already 5th. We know how fast that truck is. He's just going to be working the bottom, and I think the guys on used tires, they're going to be washing up the racetrack, so that's going to give Corey a little bit of cleaner air as he's trying to get back to the stage.
Gio Ruggiero out front, ahead of Stuart Friesen, Jake Garcia, Corey Heim up to 4th.
First truck that stayed, the last truck that stayed out is that Chandler Smith truck. He's struggling. That kind of messed up his plan with all those guys.
Oh, got black flagged.
Look at this mix of trucks. You see the black flag just flew in the air. I believe that is for the 22.
You see Lane working the high side and Chandler trying to rebound after getting squeezed there. Whole lot of action on that restart.
That was Tomasi.
These guys that stayed out, you know, they're just fighting for their life, right? Their goal was stage points. Daniel Hemrick stayed out. You know, he's trying to hold off Chandler Smith. He's not going to be able to do it. He's just trying to get a handful of stage points here. As Corey Heim looks to the inside of Jake Garcia.
Talking about Jake Garcia again, he's just been amazing this year with just speed everywhere we go. See that bit of a gap, though, up to Stuart Friesen, so that means Corey Heim is going to pounce.
Tricon Garage in the 11th, Thor Sport the 13.
These older tires have actually held on a lot better than I thought they were going to. They fired off really good. They're holding on. I mean, you see Jake being able to hold off Corey Heim, who was dominant. Corey's really just trying to angle down off the corner. You see him hit that bump, get loose, can't put the power down. That's the tough part about trying to exit low off a 4. You want to have a straight shot off a 4 and be able to commit the throttle, but that bump just makes it really, really tough. So Corey's kind of in a tough spot here, and he has Chandler Smith kind of starting to breathe down his neck. He can't open his entry up too much. You see Chandler try to squirt the throttle in the middle of the corner and get there to where Corey can't turn down the hill. So Corey's trying all he can to get by this 13 truck.
And Jake Garcia says, I'm not having any of that. And also Chandler Smith, he's on those older tires, and they are running right with Corey Heim. So this is impressive.
Stuart Friesen
8 to go on the stage. Gio Ruggiero is leading.
Start putting pressure on Gio Ruggiero.
Stuart Friesen's looking right there behind him, trying to take the lead.
That's our flag man. He's been wearing carrying out his arm with a black flag for a restart violation for multiple trucks here.
They're just out of line and not stacked up properly, and NASCAR didn't take too kindly to that, so they'll have to come down pit road. But we got a battle for the lead. Stuart Friesen wanting this stage.
Yeah, a bunch of guys with penalties.
6 to go in stage number 1. Gio Ruggiero trying to hold him off.
But I got to tell you, Ryan, in about 3 of those 6 laps, Corey Haim's going to be there to join this party.
He finally got by Jake Garcia, so he's going to run down. I don't know if he's going to be able to get there to win the stage, but he's going to get good stage points out of it. Now he's probably going to cycle to the lead.
Gio Ruggiero out front looking for his first stage win. A big moment for this rookie.
He is solid.
Talked to David Gilliland, co-owner of Tricon Garage yesterday, and he said last year we felt like short tracks were our weak link. We went back to work, we rebuilt trucks. Even though Corey Haim did win last year, it wasn't up to their standard for all of their trucks.
Taylor Smith starting to work over Jake Garcia as Lane Riggs with his pressure tires.
Michael, it shows you how close these trucks are, the 34 and 38 teammates. They are always finding each other on track.
Lane's going to try to do a big crossover, get back to the bottom of the Chandler Smith. He's reversing rolls, and now he puts him in the dirty air.
2 to go on the stage.
What a battle for 4th.
Oh, now there's a pick.
Kyle's in 10th.
Lane's just going to have to. Oh, Chandler Smith trying to squeeze it right in the middle.
And right up front,
Final lap of the stage.
Ahead of our leaders, and that's brought Corey Haim right into play.
And it is the final lap of stage number 1. Gio Ruggiero has one more lap truck to get around. That's the 33 of Frank.
Gio Ruggiero is going to win stage 1 at North Wilkesboro.
So is Gio Ruggiero picking up his first stage win. Corey Haim got up to 2nd. You were close, Ryan.
I was close. It took him too long to get behind the 13 truck, but I'm sure he's really excited about that, and I bet Gio Ruggiero was great.
So it's a little over a 5-minute green flag run there.
20-year-old from Massachusetts gets it done in stage number 1.
This river wasn't dammed in a day, and GMC trucks weren't built overnight. Like every American achievement, they are a result of dedication. Over 100 years dedicated to the art of engineering and the ambition to always move this country forward. Get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models, or current eligible GMC owners get over $7,800 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
Check it out! Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza is a game changer. With 28 cheese-filled bites around the crust, every single bite is a highlight. The Cheesy Bites Pizza, starting at $12.99. Get it on the Pizza Hut app.
We asked Howie Mandel to describe new hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins.
They're like little soft puff jackets for your feet. These are like cozy little slippers for the street.
Introducing new hands-free Cozy Fit Skechers slip-ins. Ultra-comfortable sneakers you just step into with no bending down or touching.
Oh, that's nothing. We've got new Bounty. It's 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less. And one sheet holds up better while ordinary brands fall apart. It's good.
Get more done with one. Bounty, the quicker picker-upper. Matt Olson and the Braves battle Rafael Devers and the Red Sox. Or Carlos Correa and the Twins take on the Brewers. It's Baseball Night in America, tonight at 7 Eastern on Fox.
1 second, you're not there. And then, right on time, your neighbor is. Feel secure enough to let others in with Trusted Neighbor from ADT.
Hi, Phil Swift here. Everyone trusts Flex Seal Liquid to stop leaks fast.
Create a waterproof barrier on basements and foundations. Coat leaky roofs for a watertight seal. Get Flex Seal Liquid, now with a great new look.
1 second, you're worrying about your home. And then, thanks to ADT, there's a lot less to worry about. Feel secure enough to let others in.
Why is Kyle not led a lap yet? That's a very good question, Jaden. You should ask him.
Everyone trusts Flex Seal Liquid to stop leaks fast.
Create a waterproof barrier on basements and foundations. Coat leaky roofs for a watertight seal. Get Flex Seal Liquid, now with a great new look.
Tonight, the all-stars of the Cup Series.
Corey Heim and Gio Ruggiero have led laps.
Wilkesboro at 5 p.m. Eastern on FS2.
And we welcome you back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
How you doing, Jaden?
Wilkesboro. Jamie Little, Michael Waltrip, Ryan Blaney with you. Ryan, you're going to be in the car later on today. I'll be covering you guys. It'll be fun for the heat races tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. I got to work my way from the back. I start last in the first one.
Like I said, it'll be really fun.
Yeah. Hopefully I can make my way up like Lane Riggs has shown us that he can do today, and a couple other guys. So, and you see, those guys who stayed out under the last caution with about 20 to go. They're going to come in, get tires. They're going to restart
Doing
back
good.
in the field, but
That's
you hope
good.
that
You excited for the heat races later?
Smith really fast into the pits. Josh.
Well, for Chandler Smith, not being too fast in the pits right there. He said he was too free on entry. Otherwise, pretty happy with that truck. And for the 17 of Gio Ruggiero, first career stage win and running really well. He's struggling in 1 and 2, and he needs just to be snugged up a little bit, Caitlin.
Yeah, what about the 52 of Stuart Friesen? Fresh off the top 5 at Kansas. He said the
Excited for Kyle Busch to win it? Hell yeah.
But
if he wins a heat race, that'd be awkward, because it's like, it honestly would kind of be awkward if he wins the All-Star race too, because it's like, yeah, he won, but like, it doesn't matter.
A little harder. He was 4th in that stage, guys.
Yeah, and you saw Chandler Smith had to back it up before they could start work on that truck. Work ongoing on pit road. 175 laps to go from North Wilkesboro. Pit road. A busy place. Stay with us. Stage number 2 coming up next.
Win one championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero.
I'll be
3
back.
times,
I need to
they
get
say
Watcher.
words like legend and dynasty. But when you've won it all 7 times, the trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Right now with Employee Pricing Plus, purchase and get an average of $10,900 below MSRP on 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4 models. Hurry in. Offer ends June 2nd.
At Ace, we know whether you grill with charcoal, gas, pellet, or griddle. We've got the perfect grill for you. Because only your local Ace has all the best brands in one place, like Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone. With free assembly and delivery of your new grill, along with all the sauces, rubs, and grilling extras, you'll have everything you need for your perfect barbecue. That sounds pretty perfect. Around the block, what you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Sadly, windshield chips can turn into windshield cracks. But at least you can go to SafeLight.com and schedule a fix in minutes.
Sweet.
SafeLight can come to you for free. And our highly trained techs can replace your windshield right at your home.
Safe light, safe light.
Don't wait. Go to SafeLight.com and schedule now.
Safe light repair, safe light replace.
Window World is America's exterior remodeler. With over 200 locations across the country, we're ready to help no matter where you are. As a national brand, we offer the highest quality products at the lowest prices. And with each store locally owned, expect only the best in customer service. For new windows, doors, siding, and more, choose America's exterior remodeler, Window World.
The new McCrispy Strip is here. Dip approved by ketchup, tangy barbecue, honey mustard, Sprite, McFlurry, Big Mac sauce, double dipped in buffalo and ranch, more ranch, and creamy chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Now at McDonald's.
Did someone take some of my candles? They're not all here.
Checking out with PayPal.
You can pay your own way. I'm still in here. This is the only time I get. All week.
Oh, the history at North Wilkesboro. Opened in 1947. First cup race here, 1949, won by Bob Flock. And here we are. Craftsman Truck Series race, and I think the fans like.
All right, lights are off on the pace car, getting one to go.
North Wilkesboro.
I know somebody that likes it. I do. I mean, it's so cool, the history of being racing here in the 80s, 90s, and O's. That's pretty cool. You said you're getting old, Brian. I just told people I got it.
You still jump behind the wheel every so often, Michael.
Yeah, I
Good
raced
time.
a big old Crown Victoria the other day.
Yeah, you did.
There you go.
Kind of like an old person.
Yeah, I guess so.
Just kidding. Mixing up with Travis Pastrana and Cletus.
Did you bring your own Crown Vic out there? Is that
No,
the age
they
you're
had,
at?
they had 27 equally prepared Crown Vics.
There you go.
See their stage 1 points. Gio Ruggiero takes home 10. Corey Heim ended up second with 9. All the way down, you see Kyle Busch ended up 10th there. No points for him. Obviously, you can't get points here in the Truck Series.
Corey picked the top. We talked about that bottom being a little bit challenging, so I think he likes it up there.
Yeah, it's won every restart so far. And Lane Riggs from the back. You know, he's finally going to restart in the front row and see if he's got anything.
All right, green flag.
Here we go. The drivers approach the Echo Park Automotive restart zone. Corey Heim, Lane Riggs.
Oh, he's going to lead on him.
Ooh, oh, and they're both in the wall. Heim in the wall.
Grant Enfinger to
Wow.
the lead. Gio Ruggiero. Look at Brent Cruz in a second.
Lane Riggs and Corey Heim have gotten in the wall. Grant Enfinger takes the lead.
Guys, they're still beating and banging off of each other. Tires trying to come up to pressure. It's slick out there right now, and everyone's trying to sort it out.
After the contact, Corey Heim slides back to third. There's smoke on the 1 truck just ahead of him. Look at this mess. The 07, that's Kyle Busch. Raja Karuth, haven't talked about him in the 71, and there's Lane Riggs.
Lane Riggs drops another spot.
By himself, so that truck is free taking off. He did real solid.
Really aggressive against our leader, Corey Heim. Just took him up the track and nearly into the wall. Lane hasn't recovered from that.
Yeah, Brent Cruz, as you see Corey Heim get to the bottom of the 1 truck, he's got a little tire on the left rear. The smoke's getting better, but that could be a good and a bad thing. It might be clearing us up, or it might have worked through that tire a lot. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that.
Watch this contact. This is just overshooting turn 1. Wouldn't you agree, Ryan?
Yeah, you know, the 34 is just trying to arc it down in there as much as he could, and you know, no grip on new tires, low air, and once he gets in this spot, I mean, he knows he's in trouble, and he's trying to stay off the 11. I mean, he's trying not to do that, but he just really kind of thought his truck would have more grip than it did. And honestly, great job by everybody for getting through there. Being 5 wide up turn 2 is not easy, and everyone was able to come out fairly clean.
I yelled 4 wide, and then I just counted during the replay, and they wanted to 3 wide at one point. And I didn't think that was something that was possible at North Wilkesboro. But like you said, they avoided disaster nicely. And what about Brent Cruz? Just riding on the outside, fighting as hard as he can to keep that second position away from Corey Heim.
You're just joining us. The driver of the 1 truck making his Truck Series debut. Brent Cruz, that's a teammate to Corey Heim as they battle side by side. Impressive, but we expected this from this young man and all the racing and all the winning he's already done.
Very highly touted young racer. Won races since he's been a teenager in cars. Now he's going to do the same in trucks one
And
day.
he's still a teenager. For 3 more years, Michael, that's how young he is.
Yeah, you see him loose, right? He's loose. He's trying to push the truck to its limit right there. Corey's definitely faster, you know. He's being smart. You know, it's easy for Corey to have gotten wound up after getting run into there on the restart or some contact, but he's doing a great job of just understanding what he needs to do right now and just slowly working over that 1.
We might find out he's still hot if that 38, 34 truck comes back up there in a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a racing thing, you know. I mean, it's just, I don't think Lane Riggs meant to do that. Obviously, he just got into 1 a little hot and slid up the track. And like you said, no harm, no foul. Guys lost a few positions, but they're still going straight. They're not on the rollback. And as you see, Lane Riggs really trying to work over Raja, trying to get to the right rear, actually.
I like your positivity here, Ryan.
Yeah, I do too. I could be more positive in the booth. I might be mad if I was those guys in the car, but
You're not as that positive on the radio.
I've seen you react to situations like that. That's why I kind of wondered how you felt about it.
That's the beauty of being in the booth and not having a helmet on. I can look at it from a little broader perspective.
I'll tell you another truck we haven't said much about, but he's right there in the top 5, and he's hounding Corey Heim and Brent Cruz. There's Rajah. He has a problem on the road. That's Tyler Agram. That truck's been fast everywhere we go this year, and he's right there in touch with that battle for second. Tyler is a cattle farmer lives in Statesville, North Carolina. It's a lot of fun to talk to Tyler about his racing. Into that long winless streak earlier this year, and just been running really well this year.
Yeah, Rockingham, what a win for him. Caitlin, what are you hearing?
Yeah, well, I had a chance to talk with Tyler about the exact topic you guys are discussing. He said it's been very rewarding being up front every week and every single place we go so far this season, he feels like he's improved, and he attributed all of that to his relationship with his crew chief, Mark Hillman, to all of that continuity and success now in year 2 together. But he said this stretch of races is so important, obviously, in this series. Lots of back-to-back events. He really wants to keep that momentum rolling right along. But he said the focus right now for us, of course, beyond the obvious of wins, is getting more stage wins and trying to create as much of a points buffer as possible, guys.
Yeah, Caitlin, you mentioned a streak, 6 straight races for these truckers. We're right in the middle of it right now. Ryan, I know you guys are used to it. You have 28 straight coming up right now.
We're used to the weekend grind, but you know, you just see a battle on the back half of the top 10. Chandler Smith really trying to work his way back up.
Brent Cruz running in second.
Standing out, you know, with caution, and then having a bad pit stop, sliding long in his box and being crooked. So a lot of great action going on.
Grant Enfinger continues to lead. Brent Cruz here at North Wilkesboro. We'll step aside, but you won't miss a thing. Side by side.
And Doug.
Okay, here's what you want to do. Save hundreds when Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance. Are you a caddy? No, I'm a Doug, and that's a Lemu. Okay, I'm gonna putt now. Okay, I'm gonna watch you putt.
Oh, nice birdie.
Yes, he is a very nice bird.
Oh no, Lemu! The cards!
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
So, you like NASCAR but don't know who to root for? Here's some Toyota legends you can get behind. Meet Tyler Reddick. Crushed it in Xfinity Series and now he's here. Basically the Cinderella story if Cinderella drove 200 miles per hour. Then there's John Hunter Nemechek. New kid on the block. All gas, no brakes. Oh, and Denny Hamlin. Ever heard of Daytona? He's won it 3 times. No big deal. We have a lot of drivers. All legends. You pick. You in?
Getting 5% cash back on the monthly category I choose when I pay with my debit card.
You gonna go?
Where do we go from here?
Home.
You can pay your own way.
We are green. 33 drivers are going to sprint into the eye of a tornado. Let's go.
Every day, they protect the land we call home. Their dedication is why we race free. They're our neighbors, friends, and fellow fans. They put it all on the line. So when the green flag flies, we do too. NASCAR salutes, together with Coca-Cola, honors those who serve at home and abroad.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, live from North Wilkesboro. This battle rages on between Corey Heim and young Brent Cruz. Does he get it? Yes, Corey Heim moves into second. Grant Enfinger continues to lead out front.
Corey's been working over Brent for a long time, and you know, every time he'd get along, oh, that's kind of tight right there. More damage on the one left rear. You know, as we watched this battle, Corey was really trying to, you know, angle off turn 4. He could angle down off turn 2 and get alongside, get to the quarter panel of the one truck. But then as he tried to do it in 3 and 4, there's that big bump we were talking about on the bottom. You know, and that thing is really tough when you try to angle down and put the power down. And we're going to slow this down. We're going to show a great shot here. You see the 11 truck on the bottom, angling down the racetrack. Boom. You see the truck bounce right there? It's just, it makes him check up, right? And the one can just carry so much more momentum. So that's what makes it tough to pass off of turn 4 on the bottom. You really have to be kind of above that bump, or your car has to be just kind of ride quality a lot better over that to make that possible.
Lane Riggs continues to try to march forward after that restart where he lost all that ground. He's able to get to the inside of Ankrum. Can't quite complete the pass. Got a faster truck right now, but Tyler's just hanging on tough up top.
On the bottom.
Lane and restarted second, slipped back to 6th after the contact.
Grant Enfinger continues to lead. Corey Heim has gotten by Brent Cruz for second. 2-second lead Grant Enfinger has right now.
Josh?
Kyle Busch running
Grant
8th.
Enfinger is one of just 2 drivers in the field to finish top 10 in both races here at North Wilkesboro. But despite their past success here, they still tweaked on their setup. Team telling me, we know everybody else in the field is going to get better, so we got to make sure we are progressing with our short track package as well. But right now, Grant running out front, looks like he's still struggling with grip in that truck. He can't get to the wheel the way he wanted to. A little bit easier when you are in the lead. But when you come up on those lap trucks, that might be a factor for the 9 right now.
Jeff Stankiewicz is crew chief on the box. What a great working relationship these two have.
Chandler's been impressive, hasn't he?
He's made up a lot of ground, you know, and he's one of these, you know, trucks that we all thought were really fast early, and it seems like they got it just a little better. I mean, he just went up there past the 34, and he has new tires, right? He was that group that pitted there at the stage caution, and it seems like they've really made some great adjustments to that truck, and you know, he's been able to drive up to guys and pass them, you know, within 3-4 laps. So that thing is really strong right now.
He's the only driver in the top 10 that pitted and got those tires. Stuart Friesen has gotten stuck back in the 11th position. So this is a really fast 38 truck as he continues to try to march forward.
What a great race here for 3rd. And Michael, you set it up perfectly. Just in practice talking about how these truckers could run all over the place, and that set the stage for an action-packed race like this, passing throughout.
Yeah, really good move by Chandler Smith to get to the right. He was kind of pinned on the bottom, trying to find clean air under the 18. I mean, that just worked out perfectly for the 38 truck, and now he's going to set his sights right on the white line to try to get under Tyler Ingram.
Man, he's got a fast truck right now. It's cool to see. Great battling, as you mentioned, Jamie.
Chandler Smith, such a good short track driver. Multiple wins in the Truck Series 1 in Bristol earlier this year, but he's never been here to North Wilkesboro, so not looking like an old rookie at this track. 25 laps to go in stage number 2. Grant Enfinger continues to lead over Corey Heim for North Wilkesboro.
Get luxury without the splurge with Taco Bell's new $5, $7, and $9 Lux Cravings boxes. There's the $5 Classic box, the saucy as ever. The $7 Supreme box, packed with decadent favorites. And the $9 Discovery box brings even more indulgences, like the Cantina Chicken Burrito. It's the Lux you want for less. Choose your $5, $7, or $9 Lux Cravings box only at Taco Bell.
And the stage ends at lap 140.
The cockroach, resilient creatures, true miracles of evolution. Where there is one, others aren't far behind. Always scavenging for food, the cockroach will...
Well, that's horrifying.
Ortho Home Defense Max Indoor Insect Barrier. One application kills and prevents bugs for 365 days.
Not in my house, you don't.
Nature's wild. Your home doesn't have to be.
That's new. Join me, my friend.
What are you doing?
We are living la vida loca. Oh, do you mean la Dolce Vita? Is this your idea?
Enjoy the intense flavor of Lavazza Dolce Vita.
Grazie. Is this Las Vegas? Yes. I'm confused.
That is good. At Mother's, we appreciate the simple things, the life less complicated. That's the inspiration behind Mother's new California Gold ceramic line of products. The easiest way to clean, correct, and protect your way to a whole new level of deep, ceramic, glass-like clarity, superior hydrophobic protection, and head-turning shine. Mother's California Gold. Ceramic made simple. Give it that mother's love.
Coffee Mate is the world's biggest coffee lover. Because we love...
coffee lover?
Huh?
Impossible.
Well, Coffee Mate loves all the ways you enjoy this. Coffee lover? I flew to Thailand for this. We have flavors from all over the world.
Iced coffee! So much! I lost 2 fingers!
Wow.
We need our little coffee treats, even if it means we'll never afford a house.
What I'm trying to say is... Okay, maybe we're the second biggest coffee lovers.
Tonight, it's Baseball night in America as Matt Olson and the Braves take on Alex Bregman and the Red Sox, or the Twins battle the Brewers. Check your local listings for the game in your area. That's tonight, 7 Eastern, only on Fox. We welcome you back as Grant Enfinger has about a 1.5-second lead over Corey Heim. And Chandler Smith in the 38 is on rails, Ryan. I know you've been watching him.
Yeah, he's making a lot of ground up. He just got the third during the break. And the leaders are now starting to catch the back of the field, right? So it's going to be hard on the 9, it's going to be hard on the 11 and the 38. So now we're going to get a really good idea of, all right, how versatile is your truck? Can you run the middle? Can you run the bottom? Where can you get by these lappers? And still trying to keep your lap time up. So this is a big test here. And we're only 14 to go here until the stage. So these are really important laps.
Yeah, and they're starting to get some solid trucks now, guys that are running inside the top 20. So that's going to make it even more and more difficult to move forward. Daniel Hemrick earlier had a problem on pit road, got a penalty, and he's marched his way through the field. Caught Gio Ruggiero, been stuck right there for a while. This is a battle for 15th. But looks like the slip there by the 22 up the hill Daniel can't quite get down there. Tyler Tomasi is that 22 truck. He's had some issues today. Still on the road.
Daniel Hemrick up 10 spots since that speeding penalty.
It's good to have a fast truck, but man, when
lightning has been detected in my area.
Traffic, we talk about every week, Jamie, how competitive this field is. I mean, you look at the top 20 and you think any of those drivers could win the race, and that's when it gets difficult to make your way through the field. That's why Chandler Smith and both Lane Riggs have been so impressive today doing just that.
And here's someone we haven't talked about.
Kyle Busch up to 6th.
Kyle Busch, always a threat. Whenever he comes to any series. And you're watching him. He wasn't great the first stage. Wasn't very good in practice yesterday. Just passed Brett Cruz for 6th. And I love the lane he's running. Look how high he's entering turn 1.
You know why you love it? Because you want to do that tonight, tomorrow.
I'm learning a lot right here. So he's starting to push the lane up in 3 and 4 and the entrance to 1. And he's found a lot of speed. So I'm curious to see. Kyle Busch is one of the best at getting his cars better and better through the race. I'm curious to see where they can get this 07 truck. Caitlin.
Ryan, you talked about it. He's always so successful when he's in any series. 67 wins he's had in the truck series. But we did see some of his issues start in practice, like you mentioned, Michael, and scanning that team. They had to take some big swings at it. It seemed to kind of translate over to the race as well. He kept complaining about a loose condition that just seemed to worsen over time, but he's just been kind of hanging right in that 6th, 7th place spot so far in this race, guys.
You know what, Caitlin, last time by, he was the fastest truck on the track, though, so he's working that groove that Ryan was so much admiring, and he's picking up speed, too, as the race goes on. How different are the race conditions? Will they change throughout the day? Ryan, I know it's going to be hotter and slicker, but that rubber going down will make things different, too, won't it?
It changes a lot, and you're always having to figure out, all right, where can I start to make lap time? Where can I run my car or truck that's better? And that's the beauty of these racetracks. And the cool thing about this place is you can see where the lane, like the top of the groove is at, right? It gets super dark, and then it gets the light gray, right? And that is the edge of grip. But you can kind of start pushing that lane up. It takes a while, but you can push it up, and you see, Grant Enfinger starting to slip a little bit. Corey Heim's really starting to put the pressure, and they've got a ton of lap traffic in between. So 5 to go in the stage. This is going to be a great battle to the end.
Big slide for Grant Enfinger there off turn 4. That thing was way sideways. That heating up the rear tires isn't going to help that any at all.
Corey Heim taking a look. Grant Enfinger's led more laps today than all of 2025 combined. He's led 56 laps. But Corey Heim is there. Heim has led 56 laps as well today.
And I tell you, Chandler Smith's going to become part of this battle here too. You see him right there, right behind Corey Heim. So these guys are stoved up behind lap traffic. These guys don't want to go another lap down. These guys are racing hard for the stage win. So this is going to be a great final 3 laps.
The speed differential in the front runners versus the lap truck.
Oh, there's a car on the wall. Caution.
44, Connor Jones.
That'll end the stage.
On track.
Connor Jones.
Turn number 2.
In the wall, stopped on track.
He and Matt Crafton were battling.
Internet's not down.
For the 16th position.
Looks like a right front tire if I had to guess anything on Connor's truck.
So that'll end stage number 2. That brings out the caution for the 3rd time today.
Drive it away. But that will end the stage. That was a
just a couple of laps before.
18.5-minute green flag run. Almost 19 minutes.
Blowing tires is not fun, but he was only 2 feet off the wall when it did, so they might be able to repair that truck and get it back out there.
Matt did a nice job of getting to the bottom of that 44 truck when he had his problem.
So, this is the
race.
final lap of the stage. Grant Enfinger's just coming around. Once he crosses the line, it'll be official.
Damage at all inferior, but it doesn't drive the same as it did the first round. Dollar 34, thanks for that, by the way. Great patience displayed once again. $34 every week. Thank you.
A little tongue in cheek there.
Yeah, a little bit, but yeah, Corey said he's tighter in the middle, snapping loose off, right, and that's just traffic. I mean, you're in dirtier air as and he's described it as the first run. And so, your truck doesn't turn as good. You're going to be worse on the exit. As you see, Grant Enfinger's going to win.
Grant Enfinger wins
stage
stage 2
today. So really good stage points for him. We have a great setup for the last stage of this race. There's going to be some really fast trucks coming forward. And for Corey Hines' audio, I think there's going to be a little bit of, aggression behind the wheel. So I'm looking forward to the last of it.
Must watch. Grant Enfinger picks up his second stage win this season. We'll be back for pit stops after this.
That's new. Join me, my friend.
What are you doing?
We are living la vida loca. Oh, do you mean the Dolce Vita? Is this your idea?
Enjoy the intense flavor of Lavazza Dolce Vita.
That's it. Is this Las Vegas? That is. I'm confused. That is good.
For the professional, it's not enough to possess knowledge. We seek to refine it, to wield its power, to redefine its boundaries. Knowledge is put to the test in every GMC Sierra. Or get 0.9% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models. Or current eligible GMC owners get over $7,800 total value on select Sierra 1500 models.
Check it out. Pizza Hut's Cheesy Bites Pizza is a game changer. With 28 cheese-filled bites around the crust, every single bite is a highlight. The Cheesy Bites Pizza, starting at $12.99. Get it on the Pizza Hut app.
This is a new beginning.
Where common sense
is our common ground.
Where American values unite us
and don't divide us.
This is a time to come together.
For you.
For me.
For all America.
What's up, new guy? That's the fourth time teaching a program. Teaching a serious intent to prove.
This is Frogman 6 Road. We need evac at our last known position. We have severely wounded enemy on our building and all surrounding buildings. Where are you guys? Look for the blood and the smoke.
May is the time to buy, and Verdict Chevrolet is dealing this month.
Come lease a new 25 Chevy Equinox LT compact SUV. Now just $298 a month, 36 months. 0 down payment lease available too. Or choose 2.9 for 36 financing. Plus no payments for 90 days.
Over 150 trucks and SUVs at Verdict Chevrolet
Chester
at
said,
Drivers Village. Together, let's drive. Shop VerdictGM.com.
Tomorrow, the NASCAR Cup Series All-Star Race takes center stage at the legendary North Wilkesboro track. It all begins with open races at 5 Eastern, and then the best of the best battle for the crown at 8 o'clock. That's all tomorrow on FS1. Look at that, Ryan. Center stage class is on, looking good.
There's a homeless guy.
Pit road is open. Josh Chandler Smith is in his box.
Yeah, for Chandler Smith, they got the drive off better in that truck, but he still said he's a little bit too tight, so they're going to free him up to help out this next run. For Grant Enfinger with that truck, the balance has been pretty much the same all race long, lacking that grip that he needs. A track car adjustment for that 9 truck, Kayla.
Well, Josh, Corey Himes said, guys, make sure you check for any damage on that left rear, because it doesn't drive as well as it did. He said, also, I'm free in. I can't get the right rear under me as well, was the feedback he gave. For Tyler Ankrum, he said it's starting to build a little free on exit, but tight in the center. His crew chief asked, should I free you up to keep up with the racetrack? Tyler's response was no.
Corey Heim, Grant Enfinger's pit crews ranked 1 and 2 as they come up 1 and 2. That was so close.
That was close. I thought the 9 had a little bit of trouble on the right rear, but they did a good job recovering. This was about as close as it gets.
How tempting is it to squeeze that gas down just a little bit more than you should?
Pit crew's got the job done. Grant Enfinger hangs on to it after stage win. Number 2 on the season. It's all Grant Enfinger. Can he hang on for the 3rd and final stage?
Ding dong.
Mountain dude?
The mountain's calling.
Give me a mountain without you. Give me the sunshine. Give me a day. Something's coming true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. Give me the sunshine. Give me a dew.
Some folks are drawn to open country. Others crave the wild roar of a high-performance exhaust. And some like both. We call them family.
The 3 for Me, only at Chili's, is now available with the all-new Big QP, fries, bottomless chips and salsa, and a bottomless drink, all for just $10.99. So if you're McDone with tiny, overpriced burgers, just come to Chili's. This Chili's 3 for Me is the best $10.99 you can eat.
Jorge has always put the ones he loves first. But when it comes to caring for his teeth, he's let his own maintenance take a back seat. Well, maybe it's time to shift gears on that. Aspen Dental has complete, affordable care all under one roof. Plus, free exams and x-rays for new patients without insurance, and 20% off treatment plans for everyone. Making it easier to get started with quality care. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
Still looking for a new job?
Just found out my dad's sister's husband is golfing buddies with the CEO of a great company, so basically I got the job.
Sounds promising. Indeed helps you match based on what you know, not who you know.
Oh, thank goodness. I don't even know if he exists, to be honest.
The queen is here.
The royal jewels.
Presenting Tyson, lightly breaded boneless chicken bites. Always been Tyson.
It's not about the cars, the speed, the action. It's not about the party or the long weekend. It's about them. The ones that gave everything. This Memorial Day weekend, we honor the fallen at America's Home for Racing.
The 66th running of the Coca-Cola 600.
Welcome back to North Wilkesboro Speedway. You're watching the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Happy to have you with us on this Saturday afternoon. So the end of stage 2, the pits opened. We had some great battles, but we also had some setbacks. Ty Majeski, one of those. Trouble on pit road here.
Yeah, you see the right rear. It looks like he kind of tripped over the hose. The hose got caught under the right rear tire. Look at that. Now he pulled it away. And so that definitely slowed that stop down. That's just one of those things those guys can get tangled up with that hose if it's not thrown properly.
Now the other one, Kyle Busch, you guys were talking about how fast he was coming on. He just had one of the fastest laps of the race. Busted.
Oh, wow, great.
Oh, man.
Penalty for Kyle Busch.
Be a player in this, and we'll have to see where he can come up here the last 100 laps. As we see the choose, Corey Heim is going to choose the bottom, front row. You saw Lane Riggs earlier, the restart before get loose, get into the leader on the outside. We'll see how Corey can approach it. He hasn't had a start front row on the bottom yet. Yeah, every time he's been on the front row, he's chosen the top. So this is like a new learning curve for the 11.
Let's listen to Lane Riggs' radio on that restart.
Yeah, okay, cool. Sorry about that. Restart, guys. Man, I didn't mean to get in there that hard. Just because error got off the side. Glad I did break cable myself.
Does it feel like squishy low on air?
Yeah, I just felt like I was just in the mud and couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah, the crew chief asked him, did it feel squishy low on air, right? I mean, these air pressures, we get so low. I mean, sometimes in the single digits on the left side. And that you feel the tire moving, right? It feels like it's just you're on, like a beach ball isn't totally inflated, right? You're trying to roll around on it, and that just makes the trucks all unpredictable getting into turn 1. So that's something that these guys have to really pay attention to as they fire it off into turn 1 and 2.
And that restart, Lane Riggs got into Corey Heim. That was the difference in stage 2.
All right, back green.
Here they come out of 4. Grant Enfinger on the outside. Corey Heim on the inside. Roger Crew tried to take a peek.
You see Corey, he kind of backed up turn 1, right? And he got a great exit off of turn 2. So he knew that it was slippery down there, and he set him up for the exit, and that's what really has put him in position to possibly.
Yeah, Corey Heim's going to take the lead. They're going to 3 wide. Chandler Smith. Made contact with Corey Heim. Now they're battling for the lead. Corey Heim and Chandler Smith.
Slid up into turn 1 again and just barely held it off of Grant Enfinger. His truck doesn't like those squishy air pressure you're talking about. Ankle heating the back of Riggs there now, and he clears Grant Enfinger.
Lane Riggs able to clear for 3rd. As you see up ahead of this battle, Chandler Smith giving Corey Heim all he can handle. That truck is really, really fast right now.
Chandler Smith has not led yet today, Michael.
We know how hard this pass is to make down on the bottom. There's those bumps. Ryan pointed out, can he stay side by side?
And on low air, the bump's worse, right? Your truck will actually bottom out and hit the racetrack, so you have to be really careful there. Gosh, he's running super low through 1 and 2, trying to cut distance.
Wow, that
truck sticks too.
Handling, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can really tell that 38 has got some good grip on that bottom.
Remember, Chandler Smith started in the back for an unapproved adjustment before the race started. Here he is battling Corey Heim for the lead.
I can't believe how low he can get through 1 and 2. You know, it's just such a momentum corner, and he just really eases into 1 and rolls through the middle so fast, and he can put the power down. See this bump here? He's got to pedal it just a little bit, but that truck actually goes over it better than the 11 that we saw. So now the 38's bailed on the bottom. He's like, all right, I can't hurt my tires running this low radius, this tighter radius. I have to just kind of settle in. I couldn't get the pass done in the first 5 laps or so. Now I have to really just settle in, save my stuff. You got a little tight there.
Maybe he's decided, you know, I'll see what my truck will do up top. Get tight and go up higher. But I like what you're saying, Ryan. He just has to take care of those tires. He can't just keep running that bottom. We know how hard that is on him, but I think this is a veteran move here. He just said, I'm going to cool my jets and see what I got.
Yeah, you have to pick and choose your moments. You can't just run 110% the whole time. You're gonna regret that, you know, 30 laps into this run. So he kind of figured, all right, I can't pass him right now doing what I'm doing. I'm going to cool my stuff off just for a second, and now I'm going to try to set him up again.
Let's go back and take a look at the restart.
What a wild restart it was for guys that are trying to win a championship.
Oof. Yeah, you see the 38 just touched the left rear of the 9. And the 11 slid up and just got clipped by the 38 in the right rear. So that was an exciting set of corners right there.
See what Lane Riggs saw here from that onboard camera.
Yeah, you see the 11 hit that bump and it just shot him up the racetrack. I don't think he wanted to get to the wall or in front of the 38, but it made him do it.
Ben Rhodes hasn't had the day we were looking for. He had a really fast truck in practice, and you can see there, just squeezed into the outside wall. There's action all over this racetrack. Here's Daniel Hemrick into the side of Brent Cruz, and he, in turn, almost clipped Sammy Smith on the 7.
Brent Cruz has got a lot of tire marks on the left side of the truck behind the numbers. Nothing that he's doing.
He's picked up a lot of experience today, hasn't he?
Has.
Brent Cruz back in 8th right now, doing a great job.
Great job. That's what I was going to say, Jamie. I'm really impressed with this young man, as we knew we would be. All the kids talk about
such a good
boy. Brent has.
You see just in front of Brent Cruz is Grant Enfinger, right? Restarted first. Had a little bit of that contact. Got roughed around a little bit more. Back to 7th. So hopefully they can get that truck righted. You saw the speed in it. We'll see if he, already 4.5 seconds back. We'll see if he can start making up some ground as this run goes on.
The battle rages on for the lead.
So good.
He cooled the stuff off for a few laps and he's back at it.
But look at that. It squeezes up high and he just has to back out of the gas.
Chandler Smith's story is interesting. You know, Ryan, he raced for Kyle Busch Motorsports. No problem winning. The guy was always fast. Then he moves over to the Xfinity Series. Victory lane a few times there. Then doesn't have a ride the end of last year. Decides he's coming back. Great opportunity with Front Row for a second truck. Deal came together last minute. They've already won this year.
Let me ask you this as the champion of NASCAR 2023. If you're Chandler Smith, do you ride 4 or 5 truck lengths off that 11 truck for a while? You can tell he's faster than him, or do you continue to keep the pressure on him?
Yeah, it just depends on how you're feeling in your truck. You know, if you think if you can run 90% right here behind him, keep the pressure on him. You know, if you're running 110% right here, all right, maybe you back up a little bit. But as this run goes on, we saw both these trucks were probably the fastest over the long haul. So we'll see what kind of tires they have when we come back from break.
This battle for the lead continues. Corey Heim leads Chandler Smith. 85 laps to go from North Wilkesboro. We'll go side by side, and you won't miss a thing.
Put the work in.
Mommy, I have to go potty.
You gotta do it, please.
Oh.
So, what's next?
Craftsman. What you build, builds you.
Put the work in.
Where are my contacts? Maybe you should keep your eyes on the road, Janice. I have to be able to see first flow, take driving very seriously. Yeah, well, that's what Progressive Snapshot is for. Personalized discounts so that safe drivers don't have to pay for bad drivers' mistakes. Are you saying I'm a bad driver? I'm a great driver. Janice! This isn't Mom's house. I have a date. We're celebrating your birthday. Oh, I love that for you.
Fill up on all the good stuff at Subway. All your faves packed with tons of crispy veggies and fresh sliced meats. And now buy any footlong in the app for just $6.99. Great bread, great meat, great sauce, great deal. Get on it, people. Order now on the Subway app.
Every day, they protect the land we call home. Their dedication is why we race free. They're our neighbors, friends, and fellow fans. They put it all on the line. So when the green flag flies, we do too. NASCAR salutes, together with Coca-Cola, honors those who serve at home and abroad.
It's Saturday night. You could
Matt
go out and
Crafton's
make some
slow.
memories, but
No,
people make
really
bad
slow, but
choices
he
on
looks like he was
Saturday
slowing a
night.
little bit.
Or you could be at home with edgier seat action and Joe Davis and Smoltz giving the play-by-play like a bedtime story for grown-ups. If it's Saturday night, it's baseball night in America. Tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox.
Welcome to Truck Country. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
What a battle up front. Corey Heim continues to lead over Chandler Smith, staying so close for about 25 laps and counting here. But a lot of lap trucks doing a great job working their way around. Meanwhile, the 88 of Matt Crafton had an incident. He the 91.
Oh, he got into it with Jack Wood.
I think Jack tried to swing her into the corner, and there was a truck there. You can see Kyle Busch is right in the middle of this battle. As you see, then Matt slides up into the wall.
Yeah, Matt just got a little bit too high on entry into turn 1, got in that gray.
And that 5 truck right behind Matt there, that's Tony Breidinger. She's doing a nice job battling with some really good trucks. She's currently in the 21st position. You see Jack Wood right there ahead of her. Caitlin, she's doing a nice job here.
Yeah, she is. And, you know, I had a chance to talk with her about the learning curve coming over full-time to trucks. She said, it's been a lot harder than I expected. She said, not that I thought it would be easy by any means, but she said, it's just been a lot to learn with so many new racetracks all at once. But she is trying to trust the process and not allow the information to overload her. But as you guys know, outside of racing, she does all kinds of other marketing and business endeavors. You see in here, she was featured in the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition. She said she was just in New York City for the launch of that magazine edition. She said it's a lot to keep up with, certainly, but she wants to continue to expand the business side that, of course, is so important here in the sport, you guys.
Right now, Caitlin, she's just a couple of truck lengths off the top 20, pulling into the top 20 right behind Jack Wood there off turn 4.
Michael, she's had a couple top 20s in the last 3 races, so she's getting the hang of it.
From the booth, I'm just seeing more pace than we saw early in the season. It's good to see someone get a chance to get their legs under them and keep getting better at the sport.
Talked about Gio Ruggiero quite a lot. Ran up front, led 24 laps today. Slipped back after the last round of stops. But, guys, he's back in the top 5.
Yeah, really good recovery by Gio. He slipped to 15th there that last stage, and he's done a good job to get back in the top 5.
Luke Baldwin's done a nice job. We saw him up front and then slip back, and now he's back in the top 10. So this is just another awesome performance by this young racer, Brian.
Yeah, really good job by Luke. You know, he made his way through the field early in the race, having to start near the back. Fell off a little bit during the last part of the first stage, and now he's made his way back to the top 10. Really clean looking truck right there. He's done a good job, but just kind of pacing himself, trying to figure out how to work his way back to the field. Is Josh, what he got of his teammate time yesterday?
Well, at the top of the race, I talked about Ty Majeski needing a bounce back day. That is not happening. You guys documented, again, issues on pit roads in road trips. As far as the balance of that truck, it's been all over the place. During practice, he couldn't get it down in the way he wants it. In the race, came over the radio and said, I just can't race with these guys. We saw the back end just trying to slip out on him right there. And to make matters worse, Ty Majeski's battling a cold. His chief, Joe Shearer, is battling a cold as well. So just a rough day right now for this 98 team, who's had one top 10 in the last 6 races.
But I'll tell you what, you just look at these trucks he's racing against. I mean, these are race-winning trucks that he's trying to do battle with. So it's like in the Cup Series, you just find yourself a tick off, you're running 20th, and the Truck Series is just like that.
Yeah, you know, the Truck Series has a great variety of teams and drivers that can go out there and win, and the competition level is just so high. Competition level is high in any of the series, you know, and it's tough to break through, and it just shows you're off by a little bit, it's going to show a lot on the racetrack.
It's not that short track ace performance that I guess we come to expect when it's Ty Majeski.
This is not your typical short track. They're running all from the bottom to the wall. This is fun to watch.
Right. Speaking of somebody who's, you saw Kyle Busch there for a brief moment, but the lead is still staying fairly tight. Chandler Smith only half a second back, just over half a second back at the 11, trying to keep him in tow.
Corey Heim is down by 93 laps today at North Wilkesboro. Can he make it 2 for 2?
Bipolar 1 can overwhelm your mind. Sometimes depressive lows and unpredictable highs can make it hard to get out of your head. Finding relief may help you break through. Ask about Vraylar. Some medicines only treat the lows or highs. Vraylar treats depressive, acute manic, and mixed episodes of bipolar 1 in adults. Proven full-spectrum relief for all bipolar 1 symptoms.
Vraylar isn't approved for elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis due to increased risk of death or stroke. Report changes in behavior or suicidal thoughts to your doctor. Antidepressants can increase these in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, or confusion, which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High blood sugar, which can lead to coma or death. Weight gain and high cholesterol may occur. Difficulty moving, tremors, slow or uncontrolled body movements, restlessness and feeling like you need to move. Sleepiness, nausea, vomiting, and indigestion are common. Side effects may not appear for weeks.
Vraylar. Breaking through to relief. Ask about Vraylar.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Don't miss Steel Deals. Now is the best time to save big on over 40 hardworking Steel tools. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
Safe like repair.
Perfecting your swing is hard.
Nice shot, Dad. Oh. Safe like replace.
But replacing your windshield doesn't have to be. Go to safelight.com and we can come to you.
Sick.
Our highly trained techs can replace your windshield where you are, even if that's right in your driveway.
Have a good day. I love you.
SafeLight makes it easy. Go to safelight.com and schedule a replacement today.
Safe like repair. Safe like replace. Woo!
Window World is America's exterior remodeler. With over 200 locations across the country, we're ready to help no matter where you are. As a national brand, we offer the highest quality products at the lowest prices. And with each store locally owned, expect only the best in customer service. For new windows, doors, siding, and more, choose America's exterior remodeler, Window World.
This race is pretty boring. They had 2 drivers once again with the same exact fastest lap.
Historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. Historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. Saw old Larry back in his crew chiefing days. Jeff Gordon in there. He actually won the last Cup race here back in '96, last points-paying race. Of course, this is the 3rd year we've had the All-Star here.
What about the way this racetrack is renovated? The tracks and buildings, cellular pavement, the ultra-modern. Things have been cleaned up and new, but they have that historic feel to it. The way they preserved the signs and did all the buildings around here. It's just a beautiful experience.
So Corey Heim continues to lead over Chandler Smith by a 2.5 seconds. Talking about Kyle Busch and his struggles today, back there running mid-pack.
Hasn't been without action, though. Look at him trying just to do anything he can to get these positions. Bam!
Yeah, you know, Kyle got nabbed with that speed penalty there at the end of that stage. And then this is a great move, top of 3 right here. He's been rolling the top really, really good. And he's able to get a little 2-for-1 there with Raja and Ty. And he's up to 15th. You know, he's putting together good laps. He's too far back. You know, he's going to need a yellow here, a good pit stop to try to get back in the swing of things. But he's been the one that's been searching around the most today. And I expect nothing else of Kyle Busch. Always searching for green.
Kyle, of course, ran at Atlanta, won that race, and he'll next be in the truck next week in Charlotte, and then Nashville and Watkins Glen will round out his allotted 5 races for the season.
Here, the Geo's run down, still freezing. Put together really good lap times. The truck looks really good too. So
50 laps to go.
You know, up and down day for that team, but they found the right thing when it matters the most.
What a learning day for Gio Ruggiero. He felt what it's like to run up front, lead laps. He went back, got buried in the field, and now just knocking them off one at a time.
Yeah, he's got the pace right now to get around freezing as he marches towards late racing.
Caitlin.
Looking at that 52, Stuart Friesen, fresh off a top 5 performance last time out. That's where he's been hanging out for a lot of this day. He said, it's been big for us having the momentum turn after actually questioning whether he wanted to compete anymore after he had several rough weeks in a row. But he said, I'm just trying to keep the faith, push through this rough stretch and weather the ups and downs. He said, you know, when you get wrecked or you wreck yourself, you really do start to question a lot of things. But he said, at this racetrack, he did feel like he was going to have a good baseline based on what they did here last season. So they've certainly been running really well. Potentially could get back-to-back top 5 performances, Jamie.
Thanks, Caitlin. Yep, Stuart Friesen hanging on to that 5th spot.
I looked at his dirt schedule in like 17 days of May. He's going to be racing his dirt car, plus what he's doing with us here in NASCAR. So just a racer's racer is Stuart Friesen.
Which is 6 straight races for the Truck Series, and that's a lot. 25 races on the season, so there's usually some nice off weekends in there.
You see Gio Ruggiero has driven away from Stewart. He's got a really fast truck right now, that 17. But nearly a half a straightaway on him in just a few laps. Stewart caught in a mess there with traffic. Laps are winding down. Lap after lap, the fastest truck is still Corey Heim. As a beat trying to cut into that lead.
So Corey Heim up front leading. He's now surpassed over 500 laps led this season. That's over 300 laps more than anyone else.
We've been talking about him more than anyone else because he has been the story all year long.
He has, but we can't crown him the champion yet, right, Michael? Because if that was the case, he would have won 6 races already by now. Things have changed. Things have happened to him. Been wrecked or mechanical or poor pit call. There's been multiple things that have kept him out from absolutely dominating. Caitlin.
Well, looking at Brent Cruz there on that one truck, as we've talked about, making his debut in the Truck Series. The feedback he'd given on the radio was a little tight center, but the exit does feel good. He told me just before the race he believed doing that test at Rockingham and Richmond was going to be really advantageous for him. But he said, you know, this is just an incredible moment for me, being able to move up to one of NASCAR's top series. He said his whole family, of course,
10 in your debut. This is the first of 9 races for Brent Cruz. He'll be running with Tricon this year.
I remember my first truck start in Bristol in 2012, but it's just a cool experience, you know, and looking back at a past champion, Ben Rhodes, kind of a scrappy day, you know. Door Sport has been, honestly, probably not as good as we thought they'd be, as we see the 22 of Tomasi off the pace again, and the yellow flag waves.
So it's an almost 20-minute green flag run right there. A little under.
That is the 4th.
Yep, Tomasi brings out the caution once again.
39 laps to go here from North Wilkesboro.
Well, here we go. Here's the money stop. You know, it's most likely for a lot of guys going to be the last stop of the day, unless you're in the back and you have nothing to lose if you get a caution within 15 laps or so. So this is like no mistakes. Don't speed. Don't have a slow pit stop. This is really important.
We've seen split strategy as you look back at what happened. 75 gets bumped into by Stuart Friesen. Knock you out of the way. And then he decides to hit the 22. Patrick Immerlin didn't hit him.
Well, looks like 22's already got a tire down.
Lost the tire. Yeah, that's probably why he was backing up. It's got really tight. You see the sparks flying from the right front of that number 22 truck. Now, we've seen split strategy, Brian. I mean, I think you got to come here.
I think you do. You know, you're going to probably go back green with 34 laps to go. I don't think you can stay out here. There's not enough, you know, kind of time to. I mean, maybe you'll stay out, but they've run a lot of laps under green, so I'd be curious to see. I think most of the field's going to come. I don't know if there's any ideas on the pit boxes of it. You just take right sides right here if you need track position. Like if you're Kyle Busch in 12th, truck's pretty fast. Can you get the lead taken too?
Maybe he just stays out. Too. That could be an option. The road is open. Let's see what we get.
11 stays out.
Wow, I'm coming if I'm ever.
Everybody should come right now. Well, Lane Rick stays out as well.
Chandler Kane.
Chandler Smith pitting.
Well, yeah, Chandler Smith said after 5 laps he was about sideways in that truck, saying he needs more lateral bite, more drive off. He's struggling right now to catch up to Corey Heim and get around him. We saw him during that last section, so he needs a little help in that 38 machine.
That's a lot of green flag laps on these tires. This is going to be fun.
About 62 laps of green on those tires as you see a handful of others on pit road. Interesting, Michael, you said it. Split strategy.
Split strategy. I got 4 trucks staying out. Corey Heim,
Corey Heim's staying out.
Brent Cruz,
I don't know if that's going to go well for him.
What will be the winning strategy? We'll find out. Stay with us.
Have you always had trouble with your weight? Me too.
Discover the power of Wegovy.
With Wegovy, I lost 35 pounds. And some lost over 46 pounds.
And I'm keeping the weight off.
Reducing my risk.
Wegovy is the only weight management medicine proven to reduce risk of major cardiovascular events such as death, heart attack, or stroke in adults with known heart disease and obesity.
Don't use Wegovy with semaglutide or GLP-1 medicines or in children under 12. Don't take if you or your family had MTC, MEN2, or if allergic to it. Tell your provider if you plan to have surgery or a procedure, are breastfeeding, pregnant, or plan to be. Stop taking and get medical help right away if you get a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or any of these allergic reactions. Serious side effects may include pancreas inflammation and gallbladder or severe stomach problems. Call your prescriber if you have any of these symptoms. Wegovy may cause low blood sugar in people with diabetes, especially if you take medicines to treat diabetes. Call your prescriber about vision changes, if you feel your heart racing while at rest, or if you have mental changes. Depression or thoughts of suicide may occur. Common side effects include nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, constipation, stomach pain, flu or upset, headache, feeling tired, dizzy or bloated, gas, and heartburn. Some side effects lead to dehydration.
So I think we're going to go back green with like 30 laps to go.
With Wegovy,
I'm losing weight.
I'm keeping it off.
I'm lowering my CV risk.
Ask your prescriber about Wegovy.
At Ace, we know whether you grill with charcoal, gas, pellet, or griddle, we've got the perfect grill for you. Because only your local Ace has all the best brands in one place, like Weber, Big Green Egg, Traeger, and Blackstone. With free assembly and delivery of your new grill, along with all the sauces, rubs, and grilling extras, you'll have everything you need for your perfect barbecue. That sounds pretty perfect. around the block. What you need in stock, with service so good it's guaranteed.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I use PayPal to buy this ticket. I'm paying it off over time. No fees, no interest.
You know what else is no interest? Me.
You can pay your own way.
Excuse me, sir. The captain needs you back in the cockpit.
Oh, yeah, sir. Tender, juicy, and perfectly seasoned. It's chicken made for dipping. So, bye-bye bun. Hello, McCrispy strips. Now at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back to North Wilkesboro Speedway. Watching the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Let's say
Drama.
Craftsman Truck Series. This is drama. All right, guys. Remember what happened 2 restarts ago between Corey Heim and, of course, you had Lane Riggs.
Yeah,
so what are we going to see here?
we're going to see them going for it. We know the intensity's going up, but what I'm going to watch for is that outside truck in row 3.
Yeah.
That's Chandler Smith with those tires. We've got drama here in Wilkesboro.
Yes, we do. You know, so they got used tires. The first 4 trucks. The first 2 of those have used tires. 63 laps on their tires. The 13 is on rights. 38 and everyone behind him is on 4. So 30.
Going back green.
Coming at the line. This is going to be a big.
Green flag.
Here we go. Green flag is in the air.
32 laps to go.
What does Lane Riggs do here? It's clean, but here comes Gio Ruggiero on the 17. Chandler Smith.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to go that well. The guys just stayed out.
He's going to pull the 17 off turn 4 and set his sights on P2. He had a great restart. That has worked out perfectly for Chandler Smith.
Now the question is, have we seen our last caution? You know how these things get late. They're going 3 wide at North Wilkesboro. They're stacked up in the back.
Corey Heim, Lane Riggs on those older tires. Can they hold off Lane Riggs? Chandler Smith, Lane's teammate, back in 3rd.
Look at that mess. That's action right there.
Chandler Smith underneath Lane Riggs down the back straightaway.
There's your battle for 2nd. Chandler's way fast right now. Look at him make that move.
Lane's going to let his teammate go, tries to go win the race.
Chandler Smith into 2nd. 1 truck to go.
We know how good that 1 truck is. Can he hold off the fresh tires of Chandler Smith?
Yeah, you know, we saw this in stage 1 with these guys who stayed out on older tires. They were actually able to fare pretty well for the first 10 laps or so. Then the tires kind of started to really show their muscle. So 28 to go, still a long ways to go. So you got the 11 truck who's been the best truck all day long. The 38 got as close to touching on 60 laps of pressure tires.
Last time by, just a little bit faster was Chandler Smith, but he's not making ground like you thought he might. Ryan, he's just sort of hanging in there.
Yeah, he's hanging in, and I feel like maybe in 10 or 15 laps it might be able, the 38 might be able to close the gap a little bit, but you're really seeing the speed out of the 11. The 11 might have just been...
No, I think Chandler Smith's got this.
In case they got this later caution, so they had a little bit of tire back in the bank.
Kyle Busch being irrelevant today is unfortunate.
Tyler Ingram, Brent Cruz making his Truck Series debut.
And shocking.
Right there in the 1 truck, rounding off the top 5.
In the top 5, that's exactly what that young man was hoping for. A solid, competitive run. Gio Ruggiero there in the 17 is all over him.
Guys, we've talked about Kyle Busch and his struggles today, but he's been driving through the field. Got another speeding penalty.
Oh, another one. Great.
Honeycutt on that last round of stops.
Last time by, the fastest truck on the track was Chandler Smith, so he's got pace. But when you have the best truck like we've seen all day with Corey Heim and put him out front, that clean air really helps as well. There's the 45 you spoke of, Jamie, battling up there with Kyle Busch.
Back in 15th and 16th.
Roger Caruth, Ben Rhodes battling for 9th and 10th right now. Daniel Hendrick right in front of him. Daniel's been a little bit off the pace today, but really, they've done a good job in getting that truck better. I mean, 8th is probably the best he's been all day, so they finally were able to work on that truck just a little bit.
They had that penalty earlier as well, so definitely a nice recovery for that 19 team up to 8th.
There's your battle for the lead.
Chandler's inching back in. He's inching back closer to him as they continue to get laps. Look at
And
the
Nick's eliminated the Celtics.
Way down low. We saw him do this early on the previous restart, he was running right on the bottom line. That's usually not where you want to go, but he's able to make it work on those newer tires. And I think that's just, the bottom's going to get a little better as some rubber gets put down on there, but it's also harder on the tires.
As the leader crosses the line, we've reached our crest.
20 to go.
20 to go.
Oh, it is a nail biter. Two differing lines. We talked about at the opening of the show. You got all kinds of options here at North Wilkesboro.
These front row trucks, these teammates have not made it easy on Corey Hahn today. Yes, he has led the most laps. They have been hard charging. Look at Chandler Smith closing.
Oh yeah, he's gonna catch him. Yep, Chandler Smith pretty much caught him.
And gosh, he's pushing that truck hard. So just kind of
like
what I thought, like the older
Taylor Smith gonna dive it in there. Nope,
then it seems
not
like
gonna
they
get him
just
there.
hot. So the 11 is gonna. I don't think the 11 can go down and block the lane. The 38's running at 1 and 2. He just kind of has to stick to his guns.
Here he comes.
Chandler Smith keeps taking a peek.
He's going to have to run 18 perfect laps to keep that 38 behind him.
That's a lot of laps.
That is.
It's many laps to go.
It's a whole bunch of turns, too.
Seeing the pylon there on the left side, last pit and lap number. It's old tires versus new tires.
He makes that 1 and 2 up high work really well, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's all about momentum, right? He's getting to that top lane. Progressive banking we talk about here in that top lane, it feels like it has a ton more banking in the third lane than it does in the second. He's able to roll momentum. And the 38 is complete opposite. White line hugging on entry and exit, but look at the run the 11 can get off the corner. So that's going to be tough for the 38. We've already talked about how tough it is to make the bottom work off of 4 with that bump. And this is the first lap the 38's gone to the middle lane, trying to find some cleaner air. Because the 11's done a good job of pinning it to the bottom, giving all the dirty air to the 38. As the 38's starting to change his line and trying to get up the racetrack in 1 and 2.
You can just see that brain working, can't you? He said, I got to move around. This isn't working. What am I going to do? Maybe that's sending signals to Corey Hahn not to just trust where you think I'm going. I can be versatile.
Two 22-year-olds battling each other. Toyota versus Ford. Tricon versus Front Row as they're getting into some lap trucks just ahead.
Just when you want to give the advantage to Chandler Smith, Corey Hahn puts together a couple of good laps and puts a little bit of space between he and second place runner.
Yeah, they're just kind of trading laps here. Like, one lap, it'll be a 10th one way, and a 10th the other way. Lapper gets out of the way. That was a great move by Frankie Muniz right there. And the leaders racing out here to the end of the race.
Sergio Ruggiero, Grant Enfinger on the right side. That battles for 6th.
Good Cruz just ahead of them. Driven away a bit. Grant's got a little bit better truck there off turn 2.
Corey Heim, 4/10 of a second lead with 11 laps to go.
Oh, look at that tight battle.
Right here, short.
Fastest lap of the day, turned by the 38 of Chandler Smith, 118 miles an hour. This is really interesting. We have that split decision to pit or not to pit.
I like what Chandler did. He tried to outrun him on the same tires and couldn't do that. He came to pit road, got him 4 more, and it's still a struggle.
Chandler's loose, though. You saw him slide all the way through the center and exit of 3-4. He's trying hard, but I think he's realized my time is running out, and I'm not really making gains on the 11, so he's overstepping his truck, which he has to. I mean, he has no other choice than to run the tire off of it. The 11's done a good job of just being nice and neat and simple, running his lane, understanding where my truck's the best, because you've held him off so far. Just got to do the same thing for the next 8 laps.
We heard Chandler Smith on his radio saying, I wanted to pit. We couldn't beat him on the other tires. Let's give it a whirl. His crew chief agreed. That was the decision was made.
And Ben Rhodes, guys, still making moves forward up to 7 in that 99 truck. What a battle up front for the lead. I feel like we've had this all day. Maybe different drivers we've been talking about, but it's been a heck of a battle up front. Chandler Smith, though, time is running out.
And Chandler's really starting to commit to the middle of 3 and 4, and it's actually helped him out a little bit. He's getting more comfortable up there. It takes you a few laps to figure it out. All right, how do I have to enter? What's my entry speed? What's my roll speed? How can I figure that out? But he's actually starting to creep just a little bit closer to the 11.
Spencer Boyd, that 76 truck on the outside.
Now the 11 can't run the lane that he likes, right? He has to go in on the bottom. This is going to help the 38 right here. 38's going to have a run and be closer than he's been in a while down the back.
Chandler Smith all over the bottom.
Oh, wow, he gives him contact. Oh, and around goes the 1, Brett Cruz.
Caution is out for the 5th time with 4 laps to go.
Brett Cruz around and brings out the caution.
I almost said the 38's going to peek to the right side of the 11, but that was not the case. He decided to lay the bumper to him.
He's going to lay the bumper to him, but who was leading at the time of caution? We'll have to look back at the scoring loops and see what NASCAR determines. It's black and white. It's all done with computers. I know who Corey Heim thinks the leader is. Wow.
We saw the lap traffic always plays a role in this, and you saw the 11 have to go to the bottom. He had to check up off the 4 to pass the lap car. We're seeing the 11 is the leader, so he must have been a foot ahead of the 38 at the timing line.
Wow.
So yeah, that was about a 9-minute green flag run.
Now what was Chandler Smith? Chandler Smith has already showed us that he's willing to use the bumper. Now he's going to probably have to restart on the bottom.
Yeah, he's going to choose the front row.
We're going to have overtime.
And the thing that Chandler Smith has going for him, as you see, this is one other thing he has going for him, is front bumper. He didn't waste any time. He's like, I have my one shot to get by you. I'm going to do it. And clears him, but
Chandler feels like that's it, and then the caution comes out.
And he was behind him at the point of the timing line.
Corey Hines, Brent Cruz brings out that caution in the 1 truck right here.
What happened over here? We talked about Ben Rhodes moving up through the field, and he just gets into Brent. We see how difficult it is to enter on the bottom of turns 1 and 2, and that was a great
Ben Rhodes just
there again.
turned him around.
Tight, getting down in there, overdriving, gets in the left rear. Brent Cruz. That's thanks for Brent Cruz. He was having such a good day and trying to hold guys off on old tires, and just unfortunately got spun around.
That was an incredible day. We'll be back for the final restart, perhaps, or not after this.
I used to struggle with dandruff and scalp issues, but then I started using Head & Shoulders every wash because the active ingredient in Head & Shoulders fights off the microbes that cause dandruff. Microbes are on everyone's scalp and can cause irritation, but when you use Head & Shoulders every wash,
Keeps these rascals at bay. It helps prevent dandruff before it starts. Where do you think you're going?
see, no flakes down here.
He looks great.
Have a little help.
Make every wash count.
Win 1 championship, you're celebrated. Win twice, they call you a hero. 3 times, they say words like legend and dynasty. But when you've won it all, 7 times, the trophy speaks for itself. Introducing the full lineup of Ram trucks. Ram, 7-time winner of Motor Trend's Truck of the Year.
Right now with Employee Pricing Plus, purchase and get an average of $10,900 below MSRP on 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4 models. Hurry in. Offer ends June 2nd.
What's better than a limited time deal? An unlimited time deal. That's why the $5 biggie bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger is available all the time. Because the best time for fresh, never frozen beef and Applewood smoked bacon is all the time. Duh. For the best deal of all time, gotta be Wendy's.
It takes a lot to get my heart racing, but you gotta see this. There's absolutely nothing like NASCAR's only street race. This 4th of July weekend, NASCAR takes over Chicago, where you can get an up-close look at the sport's best drivers as they battle through downtown. And with live music from Zach Brown Band and Family Fun, it's a NASCAR experience on a whole other level. Hey, I'll be on the edge of my seat with NASCAR Chicago Street Race, July 5th and 6th.
We are green.
33 drivers are going to split into the eye of a tornado.
Let's go.
From the community in the campgrounds to the action on the track, there's something for everyone at Michigan International Speedway. Get your tickets today at mispeedway.com.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Camp Craftsman Truck Series. Jamie Little, Ryan Blaney, and Michael Waltrip, Caitlin Vinci, and Josh Sims on pit road. Guys, second time this year, we're going to have an overtime.
And I got a question. If you're Corey Heim, do you start on the outside, Ryan, and give that chance to the 38 to just clean you out like we've seen others do? Or do you take the bottom and be offensive and shove him up?
I don't know. I mean, that's
What do you
tough. I feel like I got to choose the top, the preferred lane, and just leave it up to the guy on the bottom. You know, try to get a good restart. If you can get a good enough restart and be far enough ahead with the jump, I think you're going to have a better shot. Yeah, so Corey Heim's going to pick the top. I think that's the best way, and you just hope you time your restart the best that you can, and you're ahead of the 38 before you get into turn one.
Lane Riggs went topside. We got a 2-lap shootout.
It's going to be exciting. You know that.
I'm very happy right now.
And the 38 he has going for him too. We saw how low he was running in 1 and 2, running right along the line. So does he go that route, right? I have laps, I have reps running this way low lane in 1 and 2. Do I kind of use that to my advantage? But it all matters on the launch. You know, if you don't get a good launch, then gosh, now you have a bunch of.
All right, lights are off. Get ready to go back. Green pace car is off. Here we go.
2 laps to see who's going to win this race. Unless the caution flies, then we'll just rack it up and do it again.
Look at all these fans.
And if I'm Corey Heim, I'm crowd the 38 as close to the bump as I can get, and going right at that bump. And where the 38 can't launch.
If I'm Lane Riggs, I'm feeling pretty good about life right now. He's on that second.
All right, back green.
Here we go. Chandler Smith on the inside. Corey Heim.
What's going to happen here?
What a restart.
Lane Riggs on the outside. Corey Heim gets a great restart, though. Ooh, jeez. Lane Riggs. What's he going to do? Looking on the inside, coming to the white flag. One more time around. Here comes Lane Riggs. Oh, contact. Oh, my God, there goes Corey Heim. Oh, my God. And now comes Chandler Smith. Chandler Smith. Oh. Oh, wow. Chandler Smith is going to win. Wow, what a fucking finish. Wow. Well, that was exciting.
I felt bad for him 3 or 4 times this year. He's just had the best truck.
Damn.
A lot transpired in those 2 laps. We need to go back and relive.
Corey Heim does not look happy.
Corey Heim, most laps led ever in his career in one race, and he doesn't pick up the victory.
Yeah, you know, it's rough, man. Corey Heim did a great job all day. You think he did everything right and get contact at the end. It doesn't spin out and not even getting a good finish out of it, right? You end up finishing 17th, but that's the way things go. He's doing all the right things. It's just a matter of trying to have some things not happen to him.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's go, boys.
Second win of the season for Chandler Smith. There's John Leonard, his crew chief. Ryan, when he came in,
Wow.
and he took those new
That was a fun finish.
Watch him. That's going to be the winner.
Wow, what a show. I didn't know who was going to win in those circumstances, but he wound up victory lane, and they took a chance of getting tires, and they were able to make it work.
Lane Riggs gave him a run for it.
Yeah, there may be some fireworks on pit road. I don't know. I have to keep an eye on it.
Lane Riggs with that unapproved adjustment pre-race started.
Corey,
I
doubt he's happy. I doubt he's in a very good mood.
Led 1 lap, and it wasn't even the whole lap, guys.
Chandler Smith with a huge win.
Here's Corey Heim.
Here's Corey Heim. Gotta be frustrated.
Can't believe. Got away from him.
Chandler Smith, what a burnout.
There's Corey Heim on pit road. He's looking for someone.
Corey Heim's walking to the front of pit road and find the 34, but the 34 is parked all the way in the back of pit road.
Meanwhile,
Probably a good place for a 34 right now, would you say? Look at that mob that is.
Yeah, he's got a mob around him.
we saw something similar in the All-Star race a year ago.
Yes.
You just feel it brewing. See if there will be words at any point, but right now Corey Heim all alone out on pit road. You see Josh Sims standing by.
He's just stopping there.
Meanwhile, what a win.
Here's Chandler Smith.
For Chandler Smith. He parks it on the finish line. First time racing here at North Wilkesboro. It's hugs all around. This team came together late in January, and now after 10 races in, they are two-time winners. Picks up that checkered flag. What a race.
What a fun day of racing. That's what I was going to say, Jamie.
There's Lane
There's
Riggs.
Lane Riggs.
So close again for Lane. And I feel like we've seen this story multiple times. There it is. The helmet is off. Caitlin Vinci is with our winner.
Yeah, you talked about it. Chandler Smith made the choice to move back to the Truck Series, and now your second win on the year. How were you and your team able to execute and make this one happen at such a historic racetrack?
Oh, we fought and clawed today. Had to start in the back, and I feel like this place, I mean, tires kind of matter, but they also kind of didn't. So first come from the back to mid-pack twice says a lot of how good this Ford F-150 was today. So I didn't think we were as good as the 11. Obviously, we had a tire advantage on them there. And he was still able to start checking back out. And then we got to him, nudged him out of the way, caution came out. But props to those guys. They had a really fast truck today. But that last restart, I did everything but the right thing. My teammate Lane Riggs executed perfectly, and we came out on the right end of the stick. So happy we could bring one home for Front Row Motorsports, second win for Quick Tie Products.
And Chandler Smith led one lap today. One.
Congratulations.
And it was the one that counted.
Second win of the year. Winner here at North Wilkesboro Speedway.
Chandler Smith saying I didn't do anything right on the last lap.
Well, you won.
He was in the right place at the right time, and we thought maybe he might be. And you can see things go wrong in turns 1 and 2 for Corey Heim.
Yeah, you know, you see the 34 trying to pull a slider right there, and just was never clear, you know, and and Chandler Smith was able to capitalize under those guys while they were having some contact up the racetrack.
While walking along pit road with Corey Heim, spun from the lead in overtime. What are the emotions you're feeling right now? And I know you're looking for Lane Riggs. What's the conversation you want to have with him?
Just why, I mean, more than anything, he tried to do it to the 7 last week for the win, and the mission accomplished for him, I guess, this week, and it cost him one too. So I don't know, just brutal. I mean, we've given up so many of them this year after pretty much dominating most of this race. Obviously, the 38 was the only other guy that was rightfully good. So felt like, you know, he probably deserved to win if anybody, not the 34. But got really loose in the 3. We struggled being loose on those short runs, and he had an opportunity and he wrecked me. So just disappointed.
Nice score.
Such a professional young man. You know, he's
almost there.
4th time this season that he's failed to win after leading most of the laps. Dominant truck. And
be there soon.
Be professional with that interview.
There he is. All right, how's this going to go?
All right.
You're just going to talk?
Corey Heim has found Lane Riggs.
I don't know if Lane had much as a defense.
Nope, he just had a few words and walks away in peace.
Quick conversation.
He literally, Lane did not say a word, I don't think. It was just, Corey said his piece and walked away. Alrighty. Well, that's where we're going to end this right here. I'll be live in a little over an hour for the Cup Heats, and then I'll be live once again for the Red Sox tonight. So, yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching, and peace out.